Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here, coming to you live. Folks, it's been a trying week. This is a week that let's face it, this week has been a week for the history books for a lot of people. A lot of people already in quarantine, a lot of people entering quarantine in the coming week. It's a scary time. We've already been doing our part on the channel to essentially, I'm not even going to make any bones about it. I'm trying to distract myself, and I'm not following the news cycle 24/7. I've got Animal Crossing going on, but basically we've been trying to do our own small part to kind of do a distraction, sort of like keep our minds occupied, sort of thing. Because while the events that are unfolding are obviously very important, I think it's important for everyone's own mental sanity to have something positive to focus on in these trying times. So with that in mind, I'd like to introduce everyone to Social Distancing Together. And this is going to be a live stream. It might be the first of many live streams we do that's just going to bring together as many people from the channel's past as humanly possible to just have a fun time. We're going to do some Disney debates. We're going to catch up with certain folk. We're going to play a round or two of everyone's favorite new game show, Wheel of Fox. So, with that in mind, speaking of the catching up, we have Jacob Gulliver on the line. How you doing, Jacob Gulliver? Of course, writer and director of Super Academy, among many other projects.
I'm doing okay. You know, the whole quarantine thing is very different, and I feel like I've adjusted mostly at this point. But my my extrovert self is still having some trouble with just staying at home all the time. So I think this will be a good chance to catch up and have some fun.
Okay. And my co-pilot, as always, is going to be the one constant here in this stream as we cycle people in and out, is Blue Dragon 5. Hey, Dragon, I haven't talked to you since Friday. How's it going?
It's still going, thankfully.
All right. So Gulliver, man, of course, you are a big Doctor Strange fan. You've got a bunch of comments to show off. You got kind of Doctor standing correctly.
Yeah, if you kind of want to go into it here, I have a ton of stuff to show you and kind of chat about. Let me grab piles all over my table.
Multiverse of Madness, Gulliver. Gulliver, okay. I'm sorry, I don't want to jump the gun too much with the comics. Let's start with Multiverse of Madness. All right, I just want to make sure that I know what we're doing here.
Way to cut the man's wings out from under him right there. He was so elated.
Okay.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, Gulliver.
No, it's fine. What do you want to chat about with Multiverse of Madness?
The big news with Multiverse of Madness that we haven't talked to you about yet, and of course, just to set the stage, everyone, if you're not familiar with this guy's the biggest Doctor Strange fan I know. He's just a huge Doctor Strange super fan, and I'm sure you'll come to find out in the upcoming half hour or so. Yeah. So Gulliver, the news broke recently that Scott Derrickson was out creatively on Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and we all wept, Gulliver. We all were like, who could they get to replace him? And then, as far as I know, this news isn't official yet, but word on the street is a one Mr. Sam Raimi. So Gulliver, I got to get your take on this. Like, if the Sam Raimi thing does happen, what do you think?
Sure. I mean, I have really mixed feelings about it, I think, because, on one hand, I do really feel like Scott Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill did a really good job. And I have some personal attachment because C. Robert Cargill, one of the writers, comes to Convergence, which is my con, my big con that I go to every year. Yeah. He's there almost every year. I would say maybe like only misses 1 in 3 or 4 of them. And he is just an absolute blast. I love his writing. I love his style. And he's worked with Scott Derrickson on a ton of different things. Just Doctor Strange happened to be one of them. So I do have some personal feelings there in the sense that, like, I am sad that he's gone from that project. And I'm sad that Scott Derrickson is gone. But, I'm always open to see another interpretation of Doctor Strange. So I think Doctor Strange is a really complex character. Not everybody can handle super well. And I want to see more takes on Doctor Strange, because I feel like the more people that take a look at him and get a chance to, try and take that opportunity, I think the more interesting things we're going to get out of Doctor Strange. And I think Sam Raimi is definitely somebody who has a specific style and a specific vision. I think some of his film techniques will work really well for Doctor Strange because of that, but I'm a little concerned that it will get a little too hokey, for lack of a better description.
Yeah.
I think he'll do a really good job with the horror, and I think that he will, do a good job creating cool, memorable stuff. Which basically, if you don't know Doctor Strange as a character, you probably know that Doctor Strange stories are full of cool, memorable stuff, and the art kind of reflects that. So I have mixed feelings about it. I just don't want, I don't want to see Doctor Strange, throwing out Ash Williams, Evil Dead one-liners.
Sure.
That's a space I don't want to exist. So I'm hopeful that it's a good balance, and they find a nice fit for the way that it's going to be, if that's who they end up getting. I think there's a ton of other people out there who do a good job too.
Okay. Well, that on the record, Gulliver, let's dive right into what you came here for, your comics. Oh boy, you've got a whole verbal history of Doctor Strange on the line for us. All right, so go ahead. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Sure. So let's jump back to the very beginning. So I've got, by the way, if you're looking for a great intro to classic Doctor Strange, pick up one of these guys. They're so cheap, and it's tons of it.
Oh yeah.
Doctor Strange.
That's how I got caught up on my early Spider-Man.
Yeah. So very first page of Doctor Strange ever. You got a winning team there. Stan Lee, Steve Ditko. How can you go wrong? Just you can't go wrong. It's perfect. Classic Strange is something where they really wanted to try something different with heroes, and there wasn't really much in the way of other comics, like that at the time. They really went out on a limb. They tried to do really imaginative things that were not in reality. And there wasn't really anything else like that for the most part, unless it was just, independent artists doing things for themselves. And that was new and exciting, and people seemed to respond to it. But I don't think it ever got hugely popular until a little bit later, when we started getting more, so this is another one. This is late 60s. And I've got here, started getting more in depth with the art. Moving away from the real simple stuff to more detailed artwork, and really getting these, incredible space and multi-dimensional scapes going. So they kind of expanded on what their original concept was and the fun art that was there, and jumped in. Got another one. This one's from the 70s, but I like the what if stuff. I got this light out, but it's kind of reflecting a little too much. I'm just gonna try and fix that quickly.
Yeah, I love the what if books as well, man. I can never. I'm so glad we're getting kind of a show about that within the MCU. But beyond that, man, I could always go for a what if Marvel comic. Yeah. Oh my goodness, they're so much fun.
Right. And I think throughout the various different parts of Doctor Strange's history, it's something that's really ignited the possibilities. Well, what if we did this? What if we tried this? Can we do this thing with Doctor Strange? Is a perfect playground for people who want to write something interesting or draw something really interesting. All of that is readily available. At the core, I think what makes Doctor Strange a really interesting character is that he's an intellectual hero rather than a physical hero. And when you have a character who's an intellectual hero, that doesn't necessarily appeal to everybody. He's not going to punch out everybody. He's going to outthink them. He's going to solve whatever the mystery is and then find a solution that works, because that's kind of the way that he was trained. It's because he's a doctor before he was ever the master of mystic arts, before he was sorcerer supreme. So I think that there's something interesting to be said there, and it's a type of storytelling that you don't always get in comics, and that's kind of what's kept me there. But as things went on, people got less interested in, the kind of like hippy dippy fancy adventures in space kind of stuff comics, and they got, they wanted more serious, they wanted more stakes. And the type of comics that got really popular at that time were horror comics. The comics that were popular and the types of stories that were popular, all these grindhouse horror movies and independent films were like, having this new renaissance. And that was perfect for Doctor Strange. They finally figured out like, oh, we can do all that kind of stuff with Doctor Strange. So I've got some more from like the 70s and early 80s here. Some Defenders.
Artwork for Doctor Strange is like, sorry.
Hey, look, it's Patsy.
Yes.
The artwork for Doctor Strange just in general is like, to me, the most defining feature of the comic for what little I know about it. And I love how it goes through different eras, like the psychedelic era all the way up to like the horror era.
Yep. And a couple more here from that kind of era.
Oh God.
That's a nice one.
Skeletons.
Yeah, Harryhausen-esque.
Straight out of like Harryhausen. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, everybody wants to, in this era, everybody wants to be the next, George A. Romero or the,
let's put him in a mall.
John Carpenter. Yeah.
Doctor Strange in a mall.
That's how Kevin Smith would direct
this Strange movie. Almost Cthulhu-esque guy back there. I absolutely love. And you got Clea. So good. It's just a blast.
I love how Doctor Strange like gradually just gets more and more buff as the time periods go on too.
Well, he's been working out over all the years. He's gonna keep in shape.
Speaking of stuff coming.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
We're gonna say a live Phil Doctor Strange next, aren't we?
No, I don't have one of those. That would be a tragedy. But,
it would be.
To my knowledge, that's never happened. But
no, I think I'm just joking. You're right, though.
Speaking of, though, as we progress through the late 80s into the early 90s, horror movies are not as popular at this time. Horror comics are not as popular at this time. What becomes really popular are the very like over the top action type heroes, the over the top action movies. Guys like Schwarzenegger and Stallone are really popular in the late 80s and early 90s. And a lot of heroes kind of go that route as well. The heroes that are popular at this time are those really ultra buff, Liefeld-esque dudes who smash things with their heads and, spew one-liners. And that doesn't work for Doctor Strange because he's this, intellectual hero, and intellectual characters aren't popular at this time. So Marvel really struggled to find like a niche for Doctor Strange, and they tried some weird stuff, which I'm going to show you. It's going to be good. So this one I'm going to open up because it's you're not going to be able to see it unless I open it up. But this is a foil cover for who is new Doctor Strange.
Oh my god, that's a lot of foil, bro.
Oh, it's so much.
It's very 90s. I'll give it that.
It's extremely 90s.
I can just sense Jim Lee somewhere just saying, I can feel someone's reminiscing about the 90s right now. I can feel it.
Yes. So Doctor Strange ends up looking like this guy.
Yes. Oh, the long-haired doctor. Okay, this is vaguely familiar to me here. And they have the long kind of.
Wow.
Yeah, this look is a little familiar. I gotcha.
He's like vaguely like Neil Gaiman Sandman-esque.
Definitely, it's kind of a big Wachowski influence on Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh god.
It's just not a good look, and it
really
just kind
not.
of treads on the legacy of the character. I think they went really hard in that one direction. And it
kind of reminds me of like Nicolas Cage Superman.
Yes, that's a great comparison. So then they tried a few more things in the 90s. This one's a little bit better. They kind of leaned more towards like the almost like Doctor Who-esque type characterization. This doesn't bother me so much, but I don't think they really quite captured the essence either. I think they, got less interested in, the the type of storytelling where it's I gotta show you this. So this is how they bring in that reboot. He's cutting off his long hair.
Oh God.
so that he can be reborn into the old Doctor Strange again. So that was how they transitioned. There we go. You can see the style that they went with.
There's a dapper looking chap for you.
Right, yeah. But yeah, it was more in this kind of, about like ego and like, oh, I'm the smartest person in the room. And, it wasn't so much about like solving mysteries. It was more about, being a Sherlock Holmes type dick. And it wasn't really a good take on the character. There wasn't any of the like, kindness aspect that was in him, or the, the compassion that you really want out of the character as well.
Yeah, for me, I always like Doctor Strange as kind of like the go-to doctor of the Marvel universe. It's always kind of the role I liked him in. I love that we kind of got that a little bit now in the movies, where he's kind of like kind of as the ensemble go-to guy. He's really good in that regard.
And believe it or not, those two things are not my top egregious Doctor Strange fashion choice of the 90s.
Oh, boy.
I have one more to show you.
Oh, jeez.
And it's from a beach episode of Darkhold.
Oh, God.
There he is.
Oh, God.
The Magnum PI years of
I like that he's classy enough to not go shirtless on the beach.
I gotta tell you, here's the thing. I don't mind the choice, but I think just the coloring. I think reversing the coloring on him was just really was an odd choice.
Are you sure though? It's just like the top part says like cowboy almost.
Right.
And then the shorts are just like, please stare at my junk so hard.
Dude,
like
the shorts are like a mix of like too baggy and too short somehow.
Yeah. Just I don't know. I can't. But what seems like what they should have really done in the 90s, to me, would have been kind of what was done with Spawn. They could have stuck with the same kind of like horror-esque and like funky supernatural stuff, and you could definitely have had a lot of those cool moments. With a character like Spawn, you have a big giant cape. You have cool supernatural abilities. You fight monsters and extraplanar beings, as well as solving these interesting mysteries. That would have been like what I would have done if I was in charge of Strange in the 90s, because that you could fit it kind of into that more like macho-esque style that people like, but still tell an interesting story too. So that's kind of my take on the 90s. But the 90s were an interesting time because that's when I started reading comics, when I was cognizant enough to start reading comics. And all of the Doctor Strange stuff that I was reading were like reprints of the really old stuff, or, were like the kid-friendly comics. They weren't really the ones that, a lot of people were getting off the shelves. It was like the basic, junior Marvel stuff. And that was what I enjoyed. But, the more I've researched it and, started collecting all this interesting stuff, the more I realized that this character's been all over the place and not everybody seems to know, how to handle Doctor Strange. But thankfully, by the late 90s, things improve a lot. This is a storyline everybody should check out if they want some good Doctor Strange, by the way. This is the Flight of Bones. I've got all of them in there.
Interesting, realistic artwork there.
Yeah, they have this, nice painterly style.
Yeah.
And you get some kind of, little elements of
almost reminds me of
old-fashioned.
On.
Yeah. The other covers are good too. Let's take out a couple more here. I'll bring up some more art. You have this really cool style.
Okay, I'm sorry. Switch to that's a cool style, but I love that Got Milk skateboarder ad. That is so 90s.
Yes,
that's great.
So
that
style,
is good. That is good.
Yeah. They started to get back on track, and that's great. Marvel Knights.
Oh God, I'm sorry. That Got Milk ad just brings me back.
I feel you. Unfortunately, in the early 2000s, they made some more missteps. So we have another questionable Doctor Strange costume.
What the hell is that?
No.
Oh God!
Oh God!
Oh God! That's the worst one to me. Jesus Christ!
Well, that's a choice for you, there, folks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Very impersonal. This comic is probably one of the worst comics from the early 2000s that I've read.
Wait, I don't even know. Is he supposed to be the blue guy or the metal guy?
What do you mean? No, he's the guy with the cape, Tiki.
Yeah. Okay, at the top here, that's strange.
The blue guy.
Is he wearing a mask or is he having a weird
thing? Got the other guy that's kind of like equally in focus.
Yeah, so that's Mr. Fix-It version of Hulk.
Yes. Yeah, Joe Fix-It. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. So they made some strange choices. Strange's dialogue in this is just
God, it's a Hulk.
Rough.
Oh God.
Yeah, Hulk's wearing her. I don't know who the gun on the left.
So we've got some questionable dialogue. Unworthy. And then just destroying a U.S. Air Force plane, because, that seems like a real thing a hero would do.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Yeah.
They're really leaning less into the Doctor side of things, more into the Strange.
He destroys a U.S. Air Force plane in the early 2000s. Was this post 9/11?
Yes.
That's an odd choice. That's a really odd choice.
It's a strange choice for sure.
So, they're, what I imagine is that all the people who have, looked at a Doctor Strange comic and thought, not for me. I'm hoping that they looked at, one of these like weird ones where like they really didn't know how to handle the character and just like, I can do something with this character. But, there's always the possibility that you have somebody who just wants, the Superman unstoppable punch face. You punch my face, I punch yours type comic. Sure. I don't know. So that's my short list of the various different comics. There are more, but I'm not going to jump into all of those. What I would instead like to do is jump into some graphic novels, some ones that
by all means.
So, first one that I would like to highlight here is Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom, Triumph and Torment.
Ooh, nice.
With art by a very young Mike Mignola.
The great
look at that. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
So this was before the Hellboy days, obviously. Mm-hmm. And his art style had not quite congealed into the way that you see it in Hellboy, but there are some, early leanings towards that direction. I'll bring up some styles there. This is a fantastic story as well. I'm not going to leave it open because this one's out of print, and I won't. Well,
by all means.
I'm going to grump about that, but
what's the story in a nutshell? Like, what is that one?
So essentially, Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom are both competing in a tournament of sorcerers.
Nice.
And then at some point, Doctor Doom convinces Doctor Strange to help him because his mother's soul has been kept prisoner by a demon lord.
Nice. That's a nice pull for him.
They venture to hell together to try and save his mother's soul.
Awesome.
I won't spoil what happens, but there's some nice twists and some good interpersonal stuff. I won't say it's my favorite Doctor Strange story. I wouldn't even rank it among like my top 3, but it is a really cool Doctor Strange story.
I'm in love with that pitch, man.
Yeah.
That's a great pitch for a story, even.
Yeah. So then, this is my absolute favorite Doctor Strange story. It's called The Oath.
Yes, The Oath.
It's a very striking cover. I love
one has influence on the movie, from what I heard. This is like the big go-to story.
Yes. So specifically, the moment where he is helping with his own surgery is taken directly in there. But there are some fantastic lines. Night Nurse is in it. That's who's there at the table with him. It's Night Nurse and Wong. There's some amazing Wong lines, and it's this kind of battle over. Somebody basically discovers a magical panacea, a cure for everything, and there are some consequences that come with that panacea, and it's this kind of battle of emotion versus logic, on both sides. Like, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Can we do this? Is this real? And a lot of stuff happens that I don't want to spoil. It's really good. I really recommend it to everybody. And everybody's in it. You got Nightmare, you got Dormammu. It's all good stuff. Highly recommend if you want a good Doctor Strange story. In terms of reinventions, this would be the most recent of that set. So this would be the most recent reinvention of the character. He is, in this version of the world, has lost a lot of its magic. I don't know if you've followed any of these comics, but he doesn't have as much power as he used to, and is relying on artifacts to continue to be powerful. He's basically channeling his power through artifacts that already have power to continue doing magic and continue protecting people. So it's kind of this, Doctor Strange depowered or low power version of Doctor Strange. And then there's these aliens that show up that are trying to destroy the remaining bits of magic. So it's interesting. I don't know if it's my favorite take on Doctor Strange. Here's the aliens. But there are some really cool moments. Doctor Strange has a new assistant named Zelma. Let's see if I can find a picture of her. I'm working on it.
It's all good.
There she is. I like Zelma a lot. She has some great lines. So yeah, it's really interesting. If you don't like all the extraplanar adventures, if you just like kind of Stephen Strange, the normal guy who knows a lot about magic, that's kind of a good approach for somebody who might be interested in that. If you normally are the type of person who really wants to get into the heavy duty action movie dude characters, I will recommend Doctor Strange and the Punisher, Magic Bullets.
Oh God, what the hell is that? Is that a gun made out of energy?
It sure is.
Oh man, that's awesome. That is.
Punisher's always been kind of the prime real estate of crossover when you think of it. Punisher meets Archie, Punisher and Luke Cage.
I love that.
Yeah. So this contains the Doctor Strange that I just mentioned, who has lost a lot of his power and is kind of doing things through artifacts. But I will pitch you Doctor Strange and the Punisher flying a magical World War I biplane.
Oh my God. Yes, please.
As a selling point for the comic.
There's a buddy adventure for you.
Yeah, this is interesting. So I've got some more here. How much time do I have?
Looking at maybe another 5 minutes or so before I invite the next person on and we do our silly game show thing.
Well, still, we're not going to shoo him out the door. He can,
that's fine. I'll just do like one or two more and then I'll show off some toys.
Okay, sounds good.
So this is one I just read about a couple weeks ago and I really liked it. Doctor Strange Damnation. So this was a mini series. It's a pretty decent size. There's a bunch of stuff from Ghost Rider and there's Scarlet Spider and Iron Fist in the storyline as well. But essentially the pitch for this is that the majority of Las Vegas gets destroyed in a battle with the Avengers, and Doctor Strange just says, you know what, I'm not okay with that much destruction in the world, and he channels magic to bring back the entirety of Las Vegas.
Oh, wow.
And then he's really burnt out, but he feels really good about it. Like, I've done a great job. I've done something valuable. And of course, when you do that much big magic comes back and has backlash upon you.
Interesting.
So there's a ton of stuff that happens. I don't want to spoil all of it, but I will say a lot of people who should not be Ghost Rider become Ghost Rider.
Oh God.
I'll throw in a little sample page there.
Oh no.
Oh jeez, I can see one. Oh yeah, there's one in particular. I'm just looking at her. Oh, it's a ridiculous Ghost Rider.
And then a lot of demon people are trying to wreck some stuff. But yeah, it's a really cool story.
Sounds like a really interesting story. I love how intimate
they bring
the
back
story is.
They bring back Shumagorath, and like the first time in forever that we've gotten Shumagorath in a Doctor Strange comic. So I was pleased to see that. And I don't know if I can find it, but there's specifically a moment where Johnny Blaze temporarily brings back a bunch of different Ghost Riders from history to help him out. And one of them is a dinosaur. And I don't know how that works. Does he just
casually go like, hey, I'm a dinosaur? Sorry, silly nostalgia critic reference.
I think the real question is, like, what mode of transportation did the dinosaur have? That's what I want.
I don't know, but like that moment, I was just like,
oh, God.
This is stupid, but I love it so much.
Well, I like how this story is like really dramatic personal stakes for Stephen Strange, and then really silly like stuff happening around it. It sounds like an interesting combination.
All right, I'm not finding it, but there it is. Yes.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
And he's up here over there.
Oh God! Oh,
I see it. Oh, I see it now. It's a giant dinosaur.
I'm a dinosaur.
Wow, that's a lot of Ghost Riders for you.
Yeah, there's more, but I'll save them for later. I just want to quickly go show some toys for fun.
Yeah, sure.
So this is my first Doctor Strange toy from mid '90s.
Still have it. That's adorable.
I still have it. Yep, Astroform Doctor Strange.
Nice.
Now I get it. I was wondering, like, why is he always like a prototype? But no, the Astroform makes perfect sense. Awesome.
Yep. I have another Astroform Doctor Strange, the recent movie version.
I was tempted to get this at one point. I didn't, but it looks cool.
You can't really see it on the screen, but the plastic has this really nice kind of iridescent quality to it. Yeah, it's good. We've got this is a die-cast statuette.
Oh, nice.
The mustachio Doctor Strange.
Yeah, this is very heavy. I keep like wiggling it around because it's actually heavy. Like you could, I mean,
knock someone out with that little thing.
Yeah, it would hurt if you were hit with it. And then I have. Sorry, I've got a big pile of stuff. I have this one. This is from the Marvel Legends series.
Ooh, nice.
I'm fond of. It's got the big floofy cape, and it's like a rubbery material. So
nice. That's when those toys had quality, man. Before it was all about mass production.
Yeah,
I was like,
remove the cape if you want as well.
Yeah, it's like the golden age of Marvel toys, Tiki. The Marvel Legends line. These are
yeah.
Awesome.
And this is a statuette.
Oh my God! All these are so detailed.
That's a thing of beauty right there. Look at the little energy ball within its that's nice.
God, the best action figure I own is like an in-package Big Bird from a Japanese toy company. God, oh man, I'm drooling over that one.
I haven't been able to track it down, but supposedly this one is based on a Jim Steranko drawing. But I haven't been able to figure out which one it is. I've got this one's still in the package.
Oh yes, this is basically what the recent Doctor Strange looks like these days, right? Or at least one of the recent.
For the most part, yeah. He doesn't have his axe like he does in the most recent version of stuff, but that's okay. And then this one is kind of my showpiece as a finale here. I'll lift it carefully.
Oh man!
Oh, and he has the backdrop. Look at that! Oh.
Yeah, I love the backdrop.
This was an anniversary gift from my lovely girlfriend a few years ago.
Oh, that is the sweetest thing I've ever heard. That's beautiful,
man.
The gift of Strange. It keeps on giving. That's magic for you in a relationship.
So yeah, so that's my little collection. I didn't. I got the hoodie back there. But,
nice.
It was too warm to wear it.
Nice.
All right. I sent the link to our next guest, and he should be popping up anytime. Gulliver, if there's any last minute comics you want to show off or anything, that would be the time.
Yeah. If you want,
No, go ahead. By all means,
okay.
one more.
If you want a really funny Doctor Strange adventure, may I recommend Ecstatics Presents Dead Girl featuring Doctor Strange, also from the Marvel Knights imprint. If you don't know who the Ecstatics are, imagine all the other like tertiary X teams, like X-Men, X-Force, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of the like C and D list. These guys are like below the D list. They're mutant characters that nobody knows what to do with and are weird and goofy. And some genius came up with the concept to put Doctor Strange in a comic about Dead Girl. This art style, it's I would say it leans more towards like the kind of like pop comic style.
Yeah, very clean, all red-esque.
Yeah, but it's really nice. I think they did a good job conveying the emotion with the characters, and like they're trying to save some people who are in hell. This is a common theme. But this is my favorite panel with all of these women who are trying to hit on Doctor Strange over here.
Oh, that's great. That's just great.
Right. He could put some salt in my porridge any day.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I love how we always address like the heartthrobbing nature of the Marvel heroes. With Daredevil's always in a relationship.
Also, Ant-Man's in it for a bit, so that's cool.
Hey, nice.
Okay. Well, thank you for that very interesting verbal history of Doctor Strange, along with some cool show and tell there, Jacob.
Sure.
Let's bring Monkey on the line. Hey there, Monkey. How you doing?
Hold on, I'm just finishing up a call right now. Yes, that is extra salt in the porridge to be delivered, okay? Thank you.
Nice guy.
Hello.
Hey there, Monkey. Now, Monkey, of course, you are the reigning champion of Disney movies, The Ride. Oh, yeah. You won our pilot episode of Disney movies, The Ride. Now, what we're going to do here, folks, Gulliver, if you don't mind shutting off your webcam.
Sure.
All right. What we're going to do.
Uh-oh. I think Tiki hit. He hit the wrong button. He'll be back.
Here he comes.
Well, he's
okay. Sorry about that. I was trying to turn off my webcam. So we're gonna do a best 3 out of 5 here, and we're going to for that we're going to go to the dreaded, the terrible, the wonderful, the Wheel of Fox. Look at its majesty. Okay, so essentially, if you guys haven't seen this before, if you missed the last episode, we're going to be going roundtable. I'm going to spin the wheel. Whatever the wheel lands on, these two gentlemen, Gulliver and Monkey here, are going to have to pitch attractions, Disney attractions, based on these movies. Now, of course, you're going to start off with a 90-second pitch, and then you're going to get a 45-second rebuttal. And the movies we have on the Wheel of Fox, what do you know? Just for Jacob Gulliver, it's all Marvel movies by Fox, and not the good ones. Sorry, Gulliver.
Yep.
So we've got Rise of the Silver Surfer, which is arguably the best movie on this list.
Pretty much.
When Tiki was pitching this game to me, my only thought was like, to be able to play this game, I'm going to have to remember literally anything about these films.
Monkey's pretty much in the same boat.
Tough. Yeah.
I've never seen any of these films.
Well, this is just going to end wonderfully, I'm sure.
All right, so we have X-Men Origins Wolverine. We have X-Men Apocalypse. We have X-Men Dark Phoenix, which I haven't seen. And then, of course, we have the cinematic masterpiece known as Fan 4 Stick.
I've already got 2 ideas, so hopefully it lands on either of those.
All right, are you guys ready to spin the Wheel of Fox?
As ready as we'll ever be.
Yep.
All right.
Who's feeling foxy tonight? A little foxy boxing in the ring. Okay.
Foxy Grandpa.
Oh, and what do you know? It lands on the most recent clunker in the bunch, X-Men Dark Phoenix. Gulliver, have you even seen this yet?
No, I have not.
All right, you probably made a wise choice.
I gotta rewatched it today just by coincidence. So I gotta.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was more of a review of it, but I kinda know. So I've seen it. I've seen it at least twice already. It doesn't matter. I've seen it too many times.
All right, Monkey. Since you are the reigning champ, I'm going to kind of give Gulliver the guest advantage, and you're going to go first. Okay.
Okay.
It was only a reigning champ because
he
just started yesterday.
You know what? Let me have this.
But it sounds so much better that way.
It's a brand new game. I want to actually keep track of the canon.
Well, he's a champ, but he's not reigning yet.
He's reigning because he beat me. He's the only one who's actually
if he
won
wins
so
tonight,
far.
then he'll be reigning. He's not reigning yet. Okay,
all right.
Just do your thing. Just do your
thing.
thing. Whenever, Monkey. Okay, whenever.
All right, Monkey.
Okay. So what it's going to be is this is going to be, maybe hidden away in some corner of Avengers Campus, and it'll be like I believe it's called Wipeout at the Santa Cruz Boardwalk.
Yes.
Yeah, like inside you're
speaking my language.
Yeah, the flat thrill ride that's inside. I think Knott's used to have something similar, where you're in there and it's a light, and you have a light show going on as you're being spun around on this thrill ride. But instead of a light show, the lights will be turned off completely, and so you'll be riding in complete dark, like the Dark Phoenix. And I mean, it's a time-tested formula. We've seen it work. It works with Space Mountain. It's effective on the OG Tower of Terror, even the Mummy. Darkness can bring thrill to an attraction. So how do you know which way you're going? So you don't even realize that the thing isn't just a thrill ride. We're going like the Forbidden Journey here, where you take this flat ride and put it on a track, which makes it even more thrilling. And so when the lights come on and you're already in the gift shop, so the unload is in the gift shop. That just expedites the process. And you're like, whoa, when did that happen?
All right, time. All right, Gulliver. Dark Phoenix, where it's in literal darkness. Can you beat that?
Maybe. Am I supposed to counter the pitch? Is that the idea?
No. You're supposed to make your own pitch, and then in the 45 seconds, you counter the pitch.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm both pitching and
you're devising a better pitch, and then when it comes to the rebuttal, essentially you're gonna say why yours easily trumps the other guys. Like what's wrong with the other guys, what's better about yours, that sort of thing. So basically lay out what your pitch is right now.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. All right. So my pitch is going to revolve around Jean Grey just like killing a bunch of people. So the ride is mostly going to be you passing through flames and seeing various members of the X-Men that you know and love being trounced heavily by fire, which apparently is just unstoppable, even if you're a special mutant person. So that's basically what it's going to be. It's definitely going to be lit entirely by fire. To lean towards that darkness that was mentioned, but that's going to be the majority of the ride, and then there's going to be a lot of there's going to be like an interactive portion where like Wolverine is going to be like, but I love her, and can you help me defeat her somehow without killing her? And then it won't be possible, and then he's going to get obliterated over and over again and then regenerate it, and you're going to be forced to watch it, and it's going to be really fun. So that's the majority of the ride, and I will cede my time early.
Okay.
All right, Monkey, 45-second rebuttal.
Okay, so I'm just taking the assumption that people didn't see this movie, so how are they going to know who these characters are? You don't need to know these characters. So that's always a plus. And what is this all about fire? Because the main issue with an attraction being lit by fire is that it is not Smokey the Bear approved. You're letting down the Earth sign. That is just not right. And besides, it's already going to be hot in a Disney, outside. So are you sure you want to do that? I mean, Mr. Toad makes sure its flames are just projections on fog that don't always work. Do you want that? I know you want that, but do the people want that? I don't know. I'm not the people, but I'm speaking for them.
Time.
All right, Gulliver, 45-second rebuttal.
So you're critiquing my use of fire in this, but it's my understanding that the objective was to create a ride based on the film. And I can think of no film in this recent history that has crashed and burned in a way that the Dark Phoenix movie did. So I'm going to stick by that fire and make sure that it is part of the product. I also noticed in your pitch you did not include any of the other X-Men characters doing anything, which if that's the case, then like what's the point of the ride? I mean, anybody can, there's got to be like a little bit of drama and some juice in there to tell a story, or else you're just looking at a kaleidoscope basically, except you said yours was in the dark, so even then you don't have that
time. All right. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys where I'm leaning, and then I'm going to throw it to Dragon for a final decision here. It basically comes down to like Jacob Gulliver pitching like an actual attraction with actual X-Men characters and stuff like that. But my problem with Gulliver's pitch is that I think it's way too dark. Like, I don't think Disney would ever actually like greenlight an attraction that's just like 90% just all the beloved X-Men characters getting
or the
killed
Dark
off.
Phoenix movie.
Yeah, fair enough. But with Monkeys is like barely an X-Men ride, but I feel like there's just enough there that I could see Disney tossing aside like a spinner ride, like, like if some weird like tax loophole, like, oh, turns out we have to make an attraction based on Dark Phoenix to get a tax write-off or something. I could realistically see Monkeys attraction more than I could see like a big e-ticket where all the X-Men are getting killed off. So I'm gonna lean towards Monkey, but Dragon, which way are you leaning?
Okay, well, believe it or not,
you're walking on air.
No. So, look, I'm kind of torn between the two pitches. They're both not great. I'll admit that right now. Difference though, Gulliver actually had X-Men characters in his. Monkey didn't even have one. I mean, if Monkey just gave me one, if he just gave me Jean Grey, if he gave me anything, he might be able to even glob on.
I don't know what character you just referred to.
Okay, the fact of the here's the thing. Look, I think Gulliver. The only thing I really had an issue with Gulliver is he pretty much just kind of didn't really pitch as much an attraction, just more pitched mostly Last Stand than the Dark Phoenix itself. But I mean, again, I like where his heart's at. I like where the ambition is, and the guts.
I did not see this film, so I
know.
I cannot help you.
I had a feeling, but just so you know, Wolverine out in the movie, so I'm just gonna throw. No. The simple fact of the matter is, I mean, I think Gulliver actually presented a pitch. It was a little bit more of a summation, but still, I mean, it was X-Men related. Again, it had kind of a catchy opening, like you're going through and basically seeing the death of the X-Men character. That's a bold opening. I'm not sure how family friendly that's going to be, but still, it was a pitch for a ride versus just darkness. So I'm leaning towards Gulliver. That's just me, though.
Okay, Dragon, you swayed me. I think you swayed me with like if Monkey would have literally mentioned like any X-Men character at all, like like let's say how Stormforce, Excellatron, Storm's involved there, so
like Nightcrawler, anybody, just give me
right. So all right, I'm gonna go ahead and give the point to Gulliver there. All right,
okay.
You guys ready for another one?
Earned. Sure.
Okay, let me delete Dark Phoenix off of the list.
So we don't have a little bit of reprisal there.
All right, and
let's see.
I'm rooting for Fan 4 Stick.
Oh, me too. I've actually seen that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I actually.
This is my worst nightmare now.
Okay, this is one I actually have an idea for.
Oh boy!
All right, X-Men Origins Wolverine, the cinematic classic.
Oh god, the one that loved us so much.
Not the good Wolverine movies. God. All right. Since Gulliver won this one, I'm going to let Gulliver pick who goes first, who goes second.
I will go first this time.
Okay.
That's fair.
All right. So my idea is this: we're gonna try and redeem all the like brief 2-second intervals where the movie was enjoyable, and try and turn it like really good. So we're gonna have like the fun stuff with Wolverine and Sabretooth like going through different periods of history and like continuing to evolve their powers and like, you know, be weird immortal brothers with bones. And that's going to be like the part where we're all experiencing these different parts of history. And then we're going to get to the stuff with Weapon X. And it's only going to be like, you'll be experiencing like, you know, walking through the space or like riding through the space with like the tanks. And we'll see like shadows and like hear, you know, voices and things, but it'll be kind of like a little spooky. And then we'll get to the kind of like end part, and we'll have, you know, Wolverine fighting Sabretooth, and like we'll have established all of this, you know, like brother conflict in the first part. So there'll be this element of story that kind of like leads up, and we'll have this great like stunt heavy fight scene, or do animatronics. Maybe it'll be like a graphical thing. Whichever is most feasible and works best with the ride or experience as established. But we'll have this nice big showpiece fight at the end to tie it all together. And I think that'll be a pretty solid experience. And no Deadpool.
Right. You just won Dragon the point right there. You just won Dragon's approval.
Yeah, Deadpool was last night.
Dragon, what you listened to the pitch, right? What do you think of the Deadpool pitch from last night?
You really want to know my thoughts?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Well, it's not quite what I would have pitched, but you know, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. You know, it was pretty. I think I was moderately proud of my boy on that one. I was moderately proud. You know, like
between the two, who would you lean towards?
Well, I mean, they're both interesting, but I mean, the one that sounded, I don't know, the one sounded more realistic was probably, you know, the whole kind of the teacups ripoff.
Yeah.
All right, so Gulliver, I made a pitch where basically like Deadpool has you like spinning teacups in his apartment to power his apartment, so you don't have to pay, so he doesn't have to pay the power bill.
However, it would have been better if waterlogged on a pool. I do have to give points there.
And then him and Blind Al are just sitting there the whole time, just making commentary and berating the guests. And then Monkey's pitch was interesting too, because I'm sure you love the Deadpool Museum, Dragon.
I did like the Deadpool Museum idea.
I will admit, like the idea I came up with was an idea I'd already had for an Avengers ride. So okay, well, how do I do this with a thing I've never seen? Okay, take that Avengers thing and suit it to Deadpool.
I was thinking more Flash Museum, but I know your head wasn't there. So anyway,
all right. So Monkey, you ready for your pitch?
Oh yeah.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so this is actually going to be one that minors cannot experience, unfortunately, but there's good reason. I mean, you'll have to sign a waiver for this one. So what'll happen is that, you know, you go into some room and there'll be a guy in there dressed as Wolverine. And, you know, he's got the claws, and he slashes you across the chest. And then instead of exiting into a gift shop, you exit into the first aid station. That's it.
Oh, man.
Are you sure you don't want to use the rest of your time on that one? Well, now it's too late, so I guess you're stuck with it. Okay.
Like, I would even need more time.
All right, Gulliver.
Ball's in your court, Gulliver.
My rebuttal is this. That is bad. Let's not do that. I'm not a fan of personal injury. I don't know how else to say that in a different way. And I think mine might actually be enjoyable as a ride. I will see the rest of my time.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Monkey, sell us on personal injury.
Well, you know, some people are into that. Consensually, of course. But there are people who are into that. You appeal to that market. I mean, Disney's already had stuff that appeals to, well, other markets, I would assume. And, you shine attention on the first aid station so you know where it is. And, I mean, look, in this day and age, with this new CEO, with these economic problems we're having now, would Disney really put all the money towards an elaborate theme park attraction? I don't know about that. They're already used to dealing with settling lawsuits, so this wouldn't be new for them if someone sues. And hey, it's a Wolverine character, a face character. You get to interact with someone, and you know what you're signing up for. So, like I said, some people are into consensual pain.
Oh, God. All right. Well, obviously, I'm going to give the point to Gulliver.
wait, hold the phone. I can't believe hold the phone. I don't think you should make that rash decision, Tiki. Shouldn't we talk about this? Shouldn't we weigh the pros and cons? After all,
if this was like pitch some sketchy like back alley Vegas tourist trap, then Monkey would win hands down. I'll put it that way. Oh man. All right. I'm sorry, Dragon. Do you have an argument in Monkey's favor?
Oh God, no! I was just gonna say I was gonna establish why I was wrong, but we can just move on from there.
Okay. All right, back to the Wheel of Fox. Wheel of Fox. All right. Oh man, if Gulliver wins this next one, then he wins the round, and Monkey has to reclaim his title. Oh! Nah! So close. So close. So close.
Rise of the Silver Surfers and Doug Jones in the house.
Best movie on this list. The actual best movie on this list, as sad as that is. All right. Oh God, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, guys. All right. What do you got? Let's see, Gulliver. Since you won that round, I'll let you. You want to go first or second?
I'll go second. I'll let Monkey have the first turn on this one.
Wise man's play. I like it.
Okay. So Disney will realize the Spies in Disguise movie in the Magic Eye Theater won't be a good idea. So instead, they'll go for a Silver Surfer 40 movie. And it'll be their answer to the Terminator show that used to be at Universal. So you got the Fantastic Four, they're like on screen and in person. You get the Silver Surfer in 4D, and maybe it could be, like Terminator, where it's a movie and not entirely just a simulated stage show, but it would be exciting. You get the in-theater effects, you get the seats shaking, you get, again, something worth doing in the Magic Eye Theater that's not a preview for the High School Musical series on Disney+. And, it's a thing where they're like, oh, gee, we have this to do. Well, it doesn't quite fit into our regular Avengers thing. We can just shuffle it off to Tomorrowland in some little way. I mean, and, maybe it'll be a sign that Disney will be willing to, pay live actors again, and we can see more entertainment in the parks, which would especially be good after, all the stuff that's gone down in places like Epcot lately. So it's best of all worlds. And there could be a Captain EO reference in there somewhere. Okay.
And
I think that's all I got.
Time. All right, Gulliver, whenever you start talking.
I do need a point of clarification, just to make sure my memory's correct on this before I get into my pitch. Am I correct in remembering that in this film, Galactus is basically like a big cloud?
Yes, you're
yes, you are absolutely correct on that.
Very cloudy recollection of Galactus for a reason, sir.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so I'm ready. So this this ride is going to begin in the dark, and then you're going to see this kind of like cloud around you, and then there's going to be this like kind of like spooky narration, with like a lot of weight and like gravity to it, and that narration is going to turn out to be the Silver Surfer, who's going to like zip by you at high speed. You only get this like little brief glimpse, and then you're going to arrive inside the Baxter building, and you're seeing Mr. Fantastic like working in his lab, and he's like getting the others to help, and he's working on some cool thing. But then the Silver Surfer breaks in, and it's going to be this like, the ride's shaking around as you're like falling through the sky, and the Silver Surfer's battling the Fantastic Four around you. And then there's this like conversation about Galactus coming, but like then the end is like the Fantastic Four facing off, and there's this big shadow that like comes over everything. And that's like the big like end. They leave it on this like cliffhanger to presumably like set up another like experience or ride later on, where they kind of tie into like other stuff. Because in the movie they don't really like act on the threat much. It's just like a threat that hangs over the whole time and then doesn't actually do much. So I kind of want to like translate that experience into the ride a little bit.
All right, time. All right, Monkey, 45-second rebuttal whenever you're ready.
Okay, so first off, there are too many, theme park simulator rides that have a simulated free fall. You get the novelty with Spider-Man, but then after that, the bit's old. Let's do some more with the system, okay? And also, you want to just translate something that could have been done better in a way that could have been done better. You don't want to just do it better. And you see, the thing is that mine might actually last, say 15, 20 minutes. So it's a way to rest your feet in the day. Whereas this, you got to deal with a line for it. And it's a ride where the threat isn't acted upon.
Time. All right. Gulliver, 45 seconds whenever you're ready.
All right, so I wish I was kidding, and it is disrespectful, but I have to say I do not remember your pitch, which probably indicates that it wasn't the best. So I'm gonna have to say, like, you're right in the sense that like I shouldn't leave it hanging, but it was my understanding that our goal was to translate the film, and I thought that would be funny, so I put that in that way. If that doesn't seem to be a popular idea, an alternative ending bit could be the Fantastic Four making some sort of deal with the Silver Surfer to delay or defend against the threat of Galactus. But I do want to be at least a little bit translating of the movie, because I feel like there is that objective there.
Time. Okay. All right. I am going to go ahead and throw it over to Dragon here. What do you think, Dragon?
Well, I'll tell you, I think Monkey started to have me in the opening there with the whole kind of, the T2 kind of framing of the whole piece. It's kind of a show in which, we kind of start things off there. But I think Gulliver he kind of covered all the bases. He had a really catching opening where you're kind of surrounded presumably by kind of the cloud of Galactus as the Silver Surfer's given some narration. Kind of we're trying to maybe improve upon the movie a smidge, but also represent that, there's some meandering, yeah. But, do what we can with it. And I think he just kind of had Monkey's number during with his pitch. I mean, I think Monkey kind of peered out the whole Captain EO of it all. But I think Gulliver. My vote's for Gulliver. That's where I'm leaning.
Okay, and with that, Gulliver officially gets Monkey's crown for the champion of this silly game show we have, and that crown is like going to be taken away like in just a minute, because we're going to have other people on to play another round of it. So
okay.
So congratulations, Gulliver, on your short-term royalty there.
What do I win?
You win.
Good question.
Bragging rights.
Okay.
Bragging rights.
Okay. Are you sure, Monkey? Do you want this crown back, or no? I'm just kidding.
That's why I love Jacob.
Just gonna throw it out there. My fantastic idea would have been just taking Dr. Doom's Fearfall and taking away all the elaborate, neat stuff, so making it less interesting and more, nothing. And it would be called Fearfall, but it would be spelled Fear for and two L's, so people would be calling it Fear for LL.
Yeah.
And Disney would make Universal do it in exchange for letting them keep Marvel and Simpsons stuff in the parks.
My opener for Fanforstic would have been, it's very important that this ride is built directly on top of Stan Lee's grave. And I was just going to freeform it after that because I feel like that would have been my winner.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think Freeform is a Disney station, so.
All right. With that, Gulliver, I think it's time to say goodbye to you on your end.
I'll be back in a sec.
All right, Monkey. Because we've got some more people coming in.
Sure.
But thank you so much for joining us, Gulliver.
Of
course.
Been a blast. It has been a blast for me as well. This was a lot of fun.
Yay.
Thanks for the invite.
With us all in quarantine, I'm sure that we'll be able to talk to you a lot more in these days. Who knows? So
well, don't bank on it, man. You're hoping that isn't the case.
I know, but I'm just saying, that's one of the nice advantages of this whole situation is that we get to reconnect with people. So,
True. As one
I'm looking for bright sides. I'm looking for bright sides here.
Bright sides.
Yeah.
All right, Gulliver.
If anybody has questions who's watching about Doctor Strange or needs a recommendation, feel free to message me. I have
you should just start your own Doctor Strange channel, Gulliver. You really should.
I don't know if I really want to do that, but
the only Doctor people can see safely right now.
But if people need a recommendation, feel free to
what about Doctor Strange Love or Dr. Hibbert or any other television doctor?
Those are also and worthy of attention.
All right. Well, Gulliver, have a good night.
You too.
Stay healthy, and we'll see you on the other side, buddy.
It sounds good.
I'm waving. Bye.
Have a great night, folks.
Night.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Monkey, about a week before the world ended.
Literally a week for me, but it was a week between getting back and them announcing the closures.
Right. For me,
so it's not. So it's a bit. So it's poetic, but not quite as close as your closeness.
For me,
was.
I got back what, like 2 days before they announced the closures?
Yeah.
So yeah, folks, that's one thing that I do want to kind of highlight is the fact that Monkey and I were both freakishly lucky to actually experience, by all intents and purposes, a pretty full trip to Florida on both our ends, right?
Yeah. Yours especially.
Oh yeah. Well, yours is more of a Universal trip with a little bit of Disney World. And to be honest with you, Monkey, I kind of like, even though I stayed longer than you, I kind of envy your trip because I really wish I would have gotten more Universal than I did. I only did 1 day at Universal between the two parks. But Monkey, you said you asked some questions for me about my trip.
Yeah. So just a couple brief moments, like you said you watched Clue on the plane, so you said that was your first time watching it? Okay, so
first time.
It was nice. That
was one of like 3 movies I watched on the plane. I also watched Angry Birds 2, which was a nice airplane movie. Hey, it's got Bill Hader in it, so
Yeah. See, for me, the flight to Florida, I watched E.T. The flight back, I watched Mean Girls and Knives Out. And the funny thing with Knives Out was how, like, during the descent, I saw the big Randy's Donuts. So it's like, that's a funny thing to see after Knives Out. So I hear that you conquered a presentation on the difficulties of insect life.
Oh, yes. God, it's tough to be a bug, yeah. First of all, let me just say that the actual walk into that theater is spectacular and one of the best things in all of Animal Kingdom, and I love it. The walk into the Tree of Life, and of course, I think the one thing from DCA that I miss from that attraction is seeing Ant Island. Like the scale version of Ant Island.
Yeah. And I like how DCA's posters were on leaves, or they looked like leaves, but hey, it's walking into the Tree of Life.
And then correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that our flick was a little better.
Yeah, the animatronics in the California version were better. Like, the flea was actually an animatronic in California.
Right, I remember that. Yeah. But I mean, I'm glad that I got to be honest with you though, Monkey. As soon as Hopper pops up, I still have to fucking stand up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. It's like I stand up until I hear release the stingers or whatever.
Right.
Like it still gets to me. I still will not actually like experience the effect. As
I don't blame you. I never experienced the sting either.
Okay.
Okay, so that, and I'd just like to mention this funny little anecdote I think you'd appreciate.
Sure.
So of course, after we departed, you took the Skyliner elsewhere. I mean, when we split ways at Disney World.
Don't get me started on the Skyliner, bro. I love the Skyliner.
What I'm getting at is that you riding the Skyliner, like, my mother was more freaked out hearing about that than about me going on Dr. Doom's Fearfall.
Oh no, that's great.
Yeah. So the next time you two are together, that's got to be a discussion topic.
Oh my god. Okay. First of all, let me just throw this out there that it took me like 15 minutes to get from the main gate of Hollywood Studios to the international gateway of Epcot. 15 minutes. 15 goddamn minutes. All right?
Yeah, if that's not the same as walking between the two, then it's like maybe 5 minutes shorter.
Right. So, you know, I can't recommend the Skyway enough. Or the Skyliner. I'm a huge Skyliner advocate.
Yeah.
It's so convenient. The only thing I don't like about it is that I wish that they put more of an effort to, like, if you're one person, just giving you your own gondola, because there's never much of a line anyways.
That would be nice.
I thought it was a little awkward having to sit with other people, and there were actually one or two moments where I got a little bit of, like, you know, like, oh, I'm a piece of shit because I'm alone with couples, you know, but you know how that feels.
Oh, you know I do.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And folks, I've never been on the Skyliner, so he's, you know, getting the experience first.
You could have.
I only got a one park admission.
Well, that doesn't mean you couldn't ride it to the Riviera.
True, yeah. But,
check out the Riviera.
I know, I guess I was thinking, you know, time investment.
Yeah, I hear you.
I say after a half-day park. So
also, yeah. Monkey, look what I got.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, the Kevin Rafferty book. And you actually noticed Kevin Rafferty. I was just like, people. Oh my god, people. I was like so over. Would you like to weave the story, Monkey? We heard the story from my perspective, but I would like you to tell the Runaway Railway story from your perspective, if you don't mind.
Okay. So, you know, I guess we both woke up at 3:30 a.m. Yeah. He picks me up at my hotel. We Uber over there. We wait a little to go through security. We go through there, and we get to the entrance gate, and we're pretty close up, like maybe just a few, like 4, like maybe 5 at most people ahead of us, not counting the bitch who cut in line later. And
I don't even remember that.
Yeah. And what was it?
Oh, I do remember that. I'm sorry. I do remember that. Oh, yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, even the lady behind us was like complaining to her earlier. So
yeah, that was a problem person.
So at one point I figured, okay, let's link our passes now for when we try for the Rise groups. And notice there's some issues with linking. I don't know how much of that was because of your ticket issues or some other stuff. So we have your ticket stuff happening, which is, you know, that's a concern over the time we're waiting. But it ultimately works out. Third time's the charm, I guess. And I've found a way to send you some email that let you link, which, yeah, so we're going up to the place, not running like other people. No, we're doing what the cast members ask. And we're heading to the Chinese theater, and we're pleased to see that the neon is on.
Yes, yes, that was great.
Yeah, and how many times am I saying and? So we go there, and we realize it seems like they're just letting people in. This is like an hour before the park officially opened. So, like, we're kind of just walking through switchbacks outside, and I remember noticing, like, when we were going in through the doorway, the sign above us went from 75 minutes to 10.
Oh, yeah, I remember that too. Yeah.
We didn't really stop until, like, waiting, like, a couple stops before right before the pre-show room. Hi, Mickey fan. Hey, Doug. And so we go through there. We go through the ride. I was loving the jaunty music in the station.
You were really digging the jaunty music. We're talking about Runaway Railway, if you guys couldn't guess.
Yeah. And,
I love it.
And based on POVs I've seen since we were there, it looks like we may have gotten the best car to be in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it seems like that's maybe the prime car. Yeah, we go through the ride. And as we're pulling into the station, also when we were approaching the building, there was the crowd of people, like Imagineers and whatnot, applauding and cheering us. So the ride ends, we pull into the station, and there they are again, like as Tiki said, applauding us and applauding their work. And so I'm guessing clearly like Disney people, the only one I really recognized was Kevin Rafferty. So notice that. And we get out, and it hasn't even been, and it's only been like maybe 15 minutes after we got let in the park. So we film a vlog that isn't on YouTube as it was a bit glitchy. I mean, I've been able to watch it in our Messenger group, but so now we're wondering what to do. But it seems like Toy Story Land is open and Sunset Boulevard is open, so we do Sunset Boulevard in the Tower of Terror
before the park officially opens.
Yeah, actually, Tower of Terror surrounded by fog.
Oh my god. Honestly, I remember that more than I remember Runaway Railway, because Runaway Railway was
even when we were pulling up to the park, you could see like the Hollywood Tower neon through the fog.
Oh so, god, it looked like you said this. It looked like something out of a promotional image or something.
Yeah, and then of course the window opens at the top, and beyond the just whatever Hollywood Hotel sign, it's just fog. You can maybe see some of the ground below, but otherwise, fog.
Yeah.
And I think this was also the time where we went through it with the annoying people in the pre-show and the Turtle Kid.
Please explain the Turtle Kid, Monkey. Please explain the Turtle Kid.
Okay, so it's like we're in the dark waiting for the drop sequence to stop or something, or me. No, it was somewhere like in a moment. Maybe it was after it was there, or maybe after some moment where doors close and it goes dark, and some kid in the front. No, I think it was the moment I thought it was before the drop sequence, where some kid is like, this moment of silence, and this kid in the front row is like, "I like turtles," which I found that amusing. That was fine. It felt like a way to break the tension. And then during the drop sequence, he's shouting like, "I like turtles!" I'm guessing maybe it was a way to try and keep himself calm.
It was a coping mechanism, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember something similar with my mother in Rock and Roller Coaster years ago.
Oh, your poor mother actually went on Rock and Roller Coaster?
Yes.
Oh no! Oh, your poor mother! Oh God! I'm sorry.
So let's say I had around that time I kind of like for some reasons, for particular reasons, come up with some spoof of the Pirates of the Caribbean song, but about Momo from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So just kind of like trying to sing that to herself during the ride. So you're zooming through, and I'm just hearing Momo. Hearing my mother repeatedly shout, Momo! Okay. So anyway, Rock and Roller Coaster. Yes, that kicks ass. By the way.
Let's not go through the whole day, Monkey.
Yeah. So should we maybe highlight the Mickey Shorts Theater briefly?
I guess we could. I want to touch bases with Doug, though. How you doing, Doug?
Hello, Tiki.
Doug, are you on your phone or your laptop?
Hello? Laptop this time.
Okay, it sounds good. Sounds good.
Is it still not working?
No, it sounds fine. It sounds fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little. Okay.
All right. So yeah, really quick, the Mickey Shorts Theater.
Is Mickey
what? Oh God.
Yeah, Mickey Shorts Theater. I mean, It was a nice short, and it integrated the pre-existing footage well. And yeah, it's a good pick-me-up if you need one.
Mm-hmm. I love the two things I love. I love the fact that the seats are literal Mickey shorts.
Mm.
And I absolutely adore the Potato Land photo op. I just love that exists.
Have you met a single person who doesn't love Potato Land?
Potato Land.
The only people who don't like Potato Land have never heard of it. And I think the only thing I really want to say as far as Disney is concerned is that all these, however last few months of joking that the waiting area for the waiting room for the Little Mermaid show should have an animatronic of the Lobster Mobster, and I didn't think about that while I was there. What the hell, me?
Oh, God. All right.
Hey, so quick question going back to Runaway Railway. What did you think of the pre-show?
Oh, I love the pre-show.
Yeah,
the pre-show.
I think I like the pre-show better than the ride. Like, Tiki's more into the ride than I was.
I love the entire thing.
I honestly kind of agree with you, though, that I think the most impressive effect in the whole thing, top to bottom, is that screen effect that we get.
Yes.
Like, it's basically an animatronic screen, which blows my mind.
A screen animatronic? Wow, what a
right.
What a juxtaposition.
Right.
So otherwise, so did you just want to hear some Universal related stuff, or?
Well, Monkey, we're kind of on a schedule here, my friend. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
If you want, we can still do a trip report if you want. But
yeah,
because that's the reason why I invited Mickey Fan and D Hindley on here, because
Railway for the Disney Day or something.
We're going to basically, Monkey, what we're going to do is we're going to do another round of Disney movies, The Ride. And Monkey, if you want to stay on as a judge, though, you're welcome to do that.
All right. Okay. I may stay a little.
Okay. All right. So, Mickey Fan, Doug, here's how this is going to work. Tonight, we're going to be pitching rides based on two, I must admit, pretty, they're classic movies, but they're pretty tricky to pitch into rides. Dumbo and Bambi. What can you do with Dumbo besides Casey Jr. Circus Train or Dumbo the Flying Elephants? Granted, you can do a Casey Jr. roller coaster or something to that extent if you want. That's totally on the table. Bambi. What can you do with Bambi? I'm dying to find out. And of course, in between the rounds, we're going to have some silly Wheel of Fox madness. So, yeah, let's not waste any time. All right, so we're going to start, of course, with Dumbo. Who wants to go first with their pitch? I'm going to turn off my webcam and screen share, get to the screen share here with the timer. Of course, guys, we're going to do a 4-minute pitch followed by a 4-minute debate. That's the format of these things. So each person will have 4 minutes to make their pitch. Then we'll do a 4-minute back and forth debate. That sound good to you guys?
It sounds good to me.
Right.
If it doesn't have someone flashing your chest, I'm only less interested.
All right. Okay. Who wants to go first?
I think I've got a pretty good pitch for this one.
Before we go forward, can we make sure that Doug is here, actually?
Doug is here.
Good. Okay, we're all good then, whenever you guys are ready. So I just want to make sure we're all okay.
I thought they got rid of Doug Live.
Doug Live. Nice one, Monkey. All right, Mickey Fan, whenever you're ready.
All right. We're doing Dumbo, right?
Dumbo, yes.
All right. So my pitch for Dumbo is going to be this crazy madcap circus Fantasyland dark ride. I don't care where. I'm just going to say Shanghai or Hong Kong because both of them need dark rides in Fantasyland. Crazy madcap circus. The cross-section of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and Snow White's Scary Adventure, where, you're going through this utter insanity trying to basically get Dumbo his feather. So I guess you're in the role of Timothy Mouse. You're running into elephants and clowns and, bad acting kids if we're going with the live action version. And, it's, 3 minutes of total insanity where, by the end of it, you're just not sure what the hell you just saw, but you think you liked it and you kind of want to go again.
All right. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Okay, and by all means, guys, first of all, I meant to say 3 minutes for the actual pitch itself. That's what we were going with last night. 3 minutes for the pitch, 4 minutes for the debate. And by all means, you don't have to feel obligated to use all your time if you don't have enough to say. So, all right, D. Hindley, whenever you start talking, that's when the clock starts.
Okay, I propose Dumbo's Circus, a live theater show on a scale of the Lion King theater show they have at Animal Kingdom and in Hong Kong. This would be in the real circus that Dumbo works at, like a sequel to the film. This is now when Dumbo has become famous for being a flying elephant. So the waiting area, you get all the magazine covers and posters seen at the end of Dumbo. Arena seating like Lion King on the inside, where this circus is now doing a staged recreation of Dumbo's life story. Kind of a Cirque du Soleil mixed with a clown act kind of thing. So you get live performers playing all the various roles, singing songs, even a major sequence where they get to recreate pink elephants, which is going to have projections all throughout the theater, acrobats flying around in beautiful, sexy pink elephant costumes. And the real Dumbo and Timothy will be present as animatronics, watching over everything. The great big climax is kind of a recreation of the climax of the film, where they have the clown fire brigade sequence. A lot of fun slapstick and fire stunts can come from that. Climax of the sequence being Dumbo's actual flight through the circus. We would accomplish this very much like the flying carpet in the old Aladdin show, if you remember from DCA, with the guide wires overhead, Dumbo actually sailing over the audience. And I think that should be a very entertaining and incredible show. So that's my pitch.
Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to put 4 minutes on the clock. And be sure to get in the points that you want to make within the 4 minutes. Keep your eye on the clock. And let's go. 4 minutes to debate. Kill each other.
Clean their clock.
Disney once did a circus. I don't know how well you know your Disney history, but, Disneyland, back in the 50s, they did Mickey Mouse Club Circus. It flopped. I don't necessarily think that it's something that they should try again. And, if it didn't work the first time with something as popular at the time as the Mickey Mouse Club, I don't see why it would work this time with Dumbo. So,
okay. Well, I think you're right. Could have gone a bit further with the idea. You mentioned it being a madcap Mr. Toad style. Surprised you didn't take any of the Peter Pan flying suspended approach, which would seem to really lend itself to Dumbo, especially if you could do controlled up and down like you can on the Dumbo spinner ride. Would have liked to hear about some specific sequences. Always the pink elephants are our favorite. I could do just pink elephants and nothing else. That would be enough. I think the live show, as I described, I've seen how tremendous the Lion King show is in Hong Kong. something performed with that amount of skill, it could be about anything and it would be successful. And Dumbo is perpetually popular. If an aerial carousel brings people in, yeah, and that's a lot worse than anything we proposed, then a live show would be so much better.
Yeah, but the Dumbo spinner, that's it's intrinsic to the formula of the Disney park, but it is there for nostalgia. It's there so grandma and grandpa can take their grandkids to ride the same ride that they did when they were growing up. But I proposed this madcap circus kind of scary thing because it's doing something different with the IP that 100% still fits. It's you're just looking at it from a different point of view. You're looking at it from trying to get to that happy ending rather than just flying around in Dumbo.
I mean, if an aerial carousel is only working on nostalgia, then like a Fantasyland C-Ticket dark ride is not that much more of an upgrade, really.
Yeah, but why would you go to a circus at a Disney park when you can go to the circus that's touring right downtown in your home city?
Well, I know all the circuses in real world they're all closed. Ringling Brothers, whatever, yeah, they went bankrupt. So this is now a blast from the past. Like Main Street itself, you can't find it anywhere else, but it will be done at the highest Disney quality. I mean, if Dumbo is still popular, and I think the Tim Burton film last year proves that it is, then a real visit to the world of Dumbo, which is the circus, would have to still be popular.
Yeah, but I don't think circus and
Time.
Jesus Christ, that movie was last year.
Yeah, it was.
It's been
In the before time.
Year.
I'm still bitter that I didn't get nominated for Best Supporting Actress. My performance was legendary.
Why you always gotta bag on the children? Why do you always have
Dumbo,
to...
we'll find you a mom, Dumbo. Don't
always
worry.
So harsh on the young children.
Look, Dumbo, she's a mom.
You guys are monsters. Okay. You know that? You're really...
Okay, to be fair, I've never talked shit about the boy in that movie. I think the boy is fine. He's totally harmless. It's the girl who's just absolutely terrible.
Yeah, put that on a bumper
I'm at
sticker,
95% sure that girl is a robot.
Oh, God. All right, so we're going to go alphabetical order here, and I'll only weigh in if I need to break a tie. So, Dragon, what do you think?
My vote is for D. Hindley. I think he had the most well-rounded argument. If any doubts I had, he really won me over with the whole, the circus industry is kind of it's gone the way of the dinosaur, and basically doing it Disney quality would be a way of bringing it back and doing it right, and what better story to do it with than Dumbo. So he sold me. He gets the point in my eyes.
All right, Monkey?
Yeah, I'm also going to vote for Doug. A Dumbo madcap ride does sound cool, but I liked what Doug seemed to be proposing. I didn't get the feeling that it was, say, a circus, more of a very theatrical show, like he said, in the vein of Festival of the Lion King, and that seemed like a good match with Dumbo. It could be cool to see in person. So he gets my vote.
All right, and for me, honestly, Mickey fan, you kind of lost me as soon as you said madcap, insane ride through the world of Dumbo. I'm like, that is not Dumbo. Dumbo's fun. Dumbo's light, but it's not really madcap.
Yeah, it's not really that madcap.
Yeah, I wouldn't describe Dumbo as madcap. So, all right, guys. So D. Hindley gets that first point. We're playing to 5 points, but first off, you guys have to deal with the Wheel of Fox! Oh my God, it's back!
What the fuck is Stuber?
What?
What do you mean, what is... Oh, I know Stuber.
Stuber, yeah.
Do you guys know what Stuber is? Or
I'm painfully aware of what Stuber is. I was looking forward to Stuber. I'm sorry.
I have the Stubbs A-list. I went and saw it. It wasn't.
It's
okay, so we have a couple
here
that are actually like decent IPs, like Alien and Planet of the Apes. You know, those are pretty realistic. But then we have like stuff like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Stuber, of course, the Alvin and the Chipmunks. To be just for the record, if we land on Alvin and the Chipmunks, we're specifically pitching for the Jason Lee Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise. I don't
Which Diary of a Wimpy Kid are you doing? Because didn't they reboot that?
Just the franchise in general.
Wait, did they reboot that?
Yeah, like they did some other movie with everybody recast or something. I didn't see that one.
So they soft rebooted it.
All right, you guys ready to spin the wheel?
Yeah, let's
go right ahead.
A little wanton chaos for the spin.
I want Stuber.
Stuber, what are you doing making chocolate pudding?
Boys, Christmas time's here.
All right. Guys, like I said, pitch for the actual Jason Lee franchise. You can't make like a spin-off of Alvin and the Chipmunks, or like, you know what, we're gonna Lego movie this. We're gonna actually be respectful to the franchise. No, that's not what this is about. We're doing Jason Lee, Alvin and the Chipmunks. Okay, let's see. Since D. Hindley won that point, I'll let him defer who goes first.
Mickey fan, he can go first.
Okay, Mickey fan, what do you got?
Not much.
Oh, and just for the record, 90 seconds, 90-second pitch, 45-second rebuttal on these ones, just to state it. All right. Time starts when you start talking, Mickey fan.
All right. So let's go full in on making this abomination of an IP adaptation even more of an abomination. And let's go with a Rock and Roller Coaster redo overlay. Alvin and the Chipmunks. Pop culture references abound. Really bad covers of modern pop songs. Let's go full in on this, end it with the Christmas song because, it's Alvin and the Chipmunks. And, have what's his face, John, I think, screaming Alvin the entire time.
Dave.
Because
it's Dave, yeah.
Dave. John is Dave, same difference. And yeah, just Rock and Roller Coaster overlay because why not? We have the IP. Let's do it.
All right, that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Can I just say that in this version, we need a scene where Dave just very angrily yells, "Alvin! How about some backstage passes?" You're treating our guests rudely, Alvin. Give them some backstage passes. Hook them up.
I just want to see, not in the ride, just in general. I want to see where Jason is drinking from a tiny little Dixie cup.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
All right. So, okay. So, Doug, whenever you're ready.
All right. I propose Chipmunk Talk with Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's a Turtle Talk sort of attraction. You go into the live studio recording booth with on the screen you have those awful CGI Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. They talk to you. They'll sing with you. You get to select a song from like a karaoke machine that they will then sing live. All this is being performed by real performers like Crush does, who are getting their voices modulated into that chipmunk voice.
Oh, God.
Dave is in the back booth behind the whole audience. He will respond on occasion, like you say, "Alvin," when he's upset over something that happens. And the chipmunks will invite the entire audience to sing along with them to the song that gets the most votes. That's it.
All right.
Mickey fan, are you signaling Morse code right now? Because I keep hearing this knocking sound. I don't know if it's you.
Me.
Okay. D. Hindley, is that you?
Not that I'm aware of.
There it is again.
It's not I.
All right,
What? It's not me. What is this paranormal activity?
Is it still happening?
No, not now. It's stopped.
Did any of us even see that new Invisible Man movie?
No, but I want to.
I would like to,
Yeah, I
as
saw
well, especially if it's
themes-
coming home
I
early.
saw the
like
Theme
to,
Snark review of
but
it. They
not
really
for
liked it.
$20
so-
rental.
I liked it. It was good.
Well, you know what, Mickey fan? The fact that it's streaming means that it's been pirated somewhere.
Probably.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I caught it in that one window of opportunity before the world crashed.
Yeah, I wanted to. I just never got around to it. I had an opportunity to, but I just didn't take it.
I
Anyway.
also wanted to see Emma.
I haven't heard good things about that
A
one,
friend
but
of mine
maybe
wanted to see Emma because he loves the actress who's in it.
maybe the person. I think the person who saw it that I heard the bad opinion from just wasn't like prepared for what that movie is. So
I love Emma, so the book Emma. So I'm all on board.
I mean, it's going to have a hard time matching up to Little Women.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
true. Oh man, Little Women is legitimately in my top 20 of the decade.
All right, guys, let's focus up.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get back to it.
Okay,
Right.
so rebuttals. We'll start with Mickey fan. You got 45 seconds.
You know, Turtle Talk is kind of a lightning in a bottle situation. You know, Crush is one of the most charismatic characters ever. I don't think that, you know, you could capture that anywhere near with Alvin and the Chipmunks, especially these Alvin and the Chipmunks. You know, and you know, why not go fun and goofy with this kind of stuff? You know, if you have this opportunity, why not just totally destroy everything?
So,
And time. Okay. All right, D. Hindley, 45 seconds whenever you're ready.
I mean, it just seems a matter of what the IP needs. It's not worthy of an e-ticket roller coaster in terms of either popularity or quality. It doesn't lend itself to that. I think it lends itself to hearing voices get turned into chipmunk voices, because that's what the whole franchise began with when it was this novelty record back in the 60s. This is leaning into that, I think. Although, honestly, if I'd gone first, I probably would have done Rock and Roller Coaster also. So that's a bit of a concession. Time.
Okay. I need you guys to officially say that you're done before I stop the clock. So
you gotta hit like the chess clock, guys.
Yeah.
I'd just like to point out that among the knickknacks above my computer are little Happy Meal toys of Alvin and the French version of Simon.
Oh my god, I remember those. All right. Well, I should say I remember those specific toys above your computer. All right.
Why the French one? Why do you have the French one?
I don't know. I guess that's just however it was at the time.
Okay, can I just say your I don't know really sounded like Forky right there? I don't know.
You know, just, you know, the 2019 recording of Little Shop of Horrors, now it's just the gas. There's a part where the dentist sounds just like that.
Oh, God. All right, Dragon, what do you think?
I'll tell you, for a moment I was leaning towards Mickey fan, but I feel he made a good point. Then he kind of took away from it a little bit when he said something along the lines in his rebuttal that he made some excellent points about the whole turtle talk of it all. And then he said, "Yeah, but when you do Alvin and Chipmunks, might as well just like destroy everything." It's like, I don't know about that. And by the same token,
and the Chipmunks.
What?
When you do this Alvin and the Chipmunks.
True. Well, here's the thing, though. I'm conflicted because D. Hindley, he was winning me over through a lot of this, but then at the end he says, "Well, if I were in his shoes, I would have gone with Rocket Roller Coaster." So you understand the conflict here. You both kind of unravel towards the end there, and I know if I'm going with consistency, I think I'm going with D. Hindley personally. I guess that's me. I'm voting D. Hindley.
Monkey.
I'm going with Mickey Fan because, like, I'm not sure the format. I'm not sure the show that D. Hindley described really lend itself well to that kind of, attraction format. Whereas, say, Rock and Roller Coaster actually makes total sense in the way of like a roller coaster with, themed around, some music group. Alvin and the Chipmunks is a music group, so it's a marriage. It's not a bad marriage, really. I mean, content-wise, it may not be that strong, which was the intention, of course, but the marriage of those two things actually made quite a bit of sense. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm going with Mickey Fan. The gift shop better have toaster waffles.
You know what? I was leaning towards D. Hindley, but I think Monkey makes some really good points about how it is a better marriage. And honestly, at this point, Aerosmith is kind of on the way out anyways, man. And what better way to appeal to the millennials, Gen Yers, than having the hip Justin Long Alvin in there, Cause...
Oh yeah, I also want to point out just a problem with that both of you had is neither of you tied it into Syndrome from Incredibles.
Oh God. Jason
he's just a madman. Just ignore him.
All right, and you know what? Dragon is right that D. Hindley, I feel like he was on a good roll of defending himself, but then he kind of shot himself in the foot there with I do Rock and Roller Coaster too. So you know what? Because of that, I'm going to have to give it to Mickey Fan. All right, so you guys are tied. You guys are tied up 1-1. All right, and now we get to the one that I'm very curious about, the Bambi pitch. All right, so Mickey Fan, since you won the last round, you get to decide who...
This could get dark.
Yeah, man.
Mickey Fan, you get to decide who goes first between you and D. Hindley on this one.
Oh.
I will go first.
Okay.
All right, so... Hold on. It's 3 minutes, right?
Okay, whenever you're ready, Mickey Fan.
3 minutes, right?
Yeah, 3 minutes.
All right. So, go ahead. My pitch is if you've watched Bambi, it is like a moving impressionist painting. So, I'm gonna pitch this really slow omnimover boat ride through the world of Bambi, through the forest, through the changing seasons, all through this kind of Monet-ish aesthetic of, the like you're traveling through this impressionist painting and you're seeing these really, really tiny vignettes of Bambi's life. You're seeing him being born right off in the distance. You're seeing him skating with Thumper on the frozen pond. You're seeing him with his father after his mother dies. You're basically going through the life of Bambi, but just so subtly and in such a beautiful artistic way that captures the utter beauty and the feeling of growing up that the movie encapsulates. That, and I think it would just be an absolutely gorgeous, perfect experience and a fantastic way to honor, this movie that has not really been represented in the parks and needs a genuinely creative way of telling that story without scarring millions of children. Time.
Okay. All right. Oh God. Oh no. Oh God. Sorry guys, my mouse got locked there. All right, D. Hindley, whenever you're ready.
All right. Well, wouldn't you know it, my proposal is also an Omnimover. 'Cause it seems like that's just the perfect ride format for Bambi. It's a very impressionistic story, not one based on incident or plot. So, really floating through the scenery, experiencing a year in the life of Bambi as you do in the film would just be the perfect way to do it. You would start with vignette of Bambi being born. It would end with the vignette of Bambi having his child, so you got a nice wraparound. And the format along the way, it's divided into seasons, a lot like the film, and driven a lot by music, as in the film, piped into your Omnimover Leaf vehicle. So you start with the summertime, frolicking in the meadows, young Bambi meeting Thumper, meeting Flower, learning about the danger. You float past the meadow. You see the smoke in the distance of man, a little foreshadowing. Move into fall section. Omnimover vehicle will swivel each time like a camera pan to create very smooth transitions, all very beautiful with real sets with projection screen backgrounds to extend the feel of the forest indefinitely. A lot like the first scene of Honey Hunt in a way, but with a different format. To get the fall colors, falling leaves, onto the winter sequence, it will have to happen. We will drift past a hint at what happens to Bambi's mother. Just a sound of a gunshot as the vehicle does another pan. You see Bambi's father. Your mother can no longer be with you anymore. And you get that sudden, fairly jarring transition, as in the film, to spring. Another beautiful scene with grown animals now falling in love. Final scene of the wildfire that man causes. This one we go full effect. The room is heated. Lots of projection effects of the fire, but with time it transitions back into a summer scene similar to how we began. You get that final vignette of Bambi having his own son, and the cycle of life has completed as you come to the end of your ride. Done.
Okay. All right, guys, I'll go ahead and put 4 minutes on the clock. Oh God, why is my mouse? Ah, this is bad timing. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna put 4 minutes on the clock. You guys ready? All right, kill each other.
All right, so I call plagiarism. But from what you're describing, you're basically describing the movie. Mine is a lot more artistic in its execution, and it's a lot more subtle, and it's more of this slow, peaceful ride through the forest, going through the seasons, more than retelling the story of Bambi. The Bambi is more just very subtle. If you're not looking for it, you wouldn't know it.
So it sounds like what you're describing is a little bit like the Navi River journey. It has almost no incident at all, but is very beautiful. And I know that ride has gotten a lot of criticism for lacking some form of a drive, which you would get with the, I hate to call it a book report approach, but I think this is one of those films which lends itself to that because it's so much just based on the texture and the tone rather than the actual driving of the plot. I see what I've proposed as being like a good alternate to the Little Mermaid Omnimover ride. It would use the ride's system to the advantage rather than kind of fighting against it like that one does. So not quite as bold, but I think a much more realistic proposal for what could be a beautiful Fantasyland attraction.
Yeah, but Fantasyland attractions, Fantasyland Dark Ride should not be book reports for the most part. Snow White is not a complete retelling of Snow White. Pinocchio is not a complete retelling of Pinocchio. Alice in Wonderland is not a complete retelling of Alice in Wonderland. My proposal here is very much in that spirit of more trying to get the spirit and the emotion of the film than trying to completely retell the story.
And I feel that you could do both at once. Is that you have the emotion, but I feel that there's not much more to it than you would get from looking at a beautiful painting necessarily.
Yeah, but that's Bambi in a nutshell. If you watch the movie, it's not really big on substance, but it is almost literally a moving painting. It is, I honestly couldn't tell you a complete plot of Bambi, but I could absolutely tell you that, you could show me a frame and I could point out, oh yeah, that's Bambi. Even just a frame of the background.
Which I think all of the first 5 Disney films have that advantage to them. But I have nothing more to say rebuttal-wise. I just feel like praising the film Bambi.
All right.
Yeah.
Mickey Fan, any final thoughts, or do you want to cut it off?
Let's cut it off.
Okay. All right. Dragon, what do you think?
Mickey Fan wins for me.
Okay. Monkey.
I'm also going with Mickey Fan because that's a book report distinction.
All right. For the record, I would have actually voted for D. Hindley just because I feel like D. Hindley's was a little bit more realistic, and I also felt like D. Hindley laid out a lot more specifics with his themes, like getting the fire and then the winter and everything like that, and the gunshot. So I was really into D. Hindley's, and I didn't really think it was that much of a book report, but it doesn't matter. I'm outvoted on this one, but
fire was a nice touch.
Just know I was in your corner, Doug.
Is there trying to add this ride to Mumbai Disneyland?
What?
I'm partly joking. I wouldn't mind adding Mickey Fan's ride to the park we're working on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's a really good idea.
There's not really room for it anymore, but we have an expansion pad now, so keep that in your back pocket.
Also, I just want to point out.
What? Go on.
I want to point out Monet was a good pull for the art style of Bambi, but just respect where respect's due. All that art was done by Tyrus Wong. And I was actually working at the museum when he passed away, and ironically, we had a huge poster of Bambi in the lobby when he passed away. Like, that wasn't even planned or anything. It just kind of happened. So, yeah, all due respect to Tyrus Wong there for all the art that Bambi... I think he's a very underrated Disney artist.
Oh, totally.
Was it the only animated Disney film until Lilo and Stitch to have watercolor backgrounds?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
It was Dumbo.
Well, Dumbo was.
Yeah. Dumbo with watercolors.
Oh, okay. All right, so that brings us to a couple more rounds of the Wheel of Fox. We're playing to 5 guys, so it's still anyone's game.
Oh, 5 guys? Nice, delicious.
I would rather have...
Probably for the best I'm not competing, because I might have said some shit like, a Bambi-based re-theme of the Frontierland shooting exposition.
All right, you guys ready to spin the wheel one more time? Or a couple more times, I should say.
Go ahead.
All right.
Do it.
Let's do it. Okay, well, this is a nice, like actual feasible pitch that I could actually do Disney Park. So, well, I have since here, so let me
technically has been in a Disney park.
Oh God, I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry for this. Oh, I'm sorry for this, Dragon. Oh God.
What?
Danny came in like a wrecking ball. I'm so sorry, Dragon. I'm so sorry.
Just get the clock up.
Also, is it just me or is it like really blurry?
Yeah,
it's really blurry. Yeah,
oh,
you know what? Let me.
What? You want to do a round of this, but about Wrecking Ball?
No, I don't.
I'm kidding. Semi-kidding.
Ron Jeremy, the ride. All right, let me go ahead.
There's a double.
That would have to be in a water park, right?
That looks better, right, guys?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Alien was the choice. All right. So guys, let's go ahead and put a minute 30 on the clock. Mickey Fan, since you won that round, you can defer to who goes first.
D. Henley, go ahead.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to go with an EMV style ride, like Indiana Jones Adventure. You would be like a colonial marine on a mission to an alien-infested planet to go wipe them out. So the whole queue is on the ship in orbit. You have alien specimens in jars of facehuggers for some nice, scary queue interaction. Board your APC armored personnel carrier, if I'm remembering correctly, and go into a dropship room, screens to depict traveling down to the planet, pull out onto the planet's surface. It's like LV-426, just ravaged with lightning, and suspense builds as you're coming into an abandoned warehouse facility or colonialist facility. It's acid holes everywhere. Shadows on the wall show aliens are creeping around. It starts building. You go past the egg chamber, facehuggers leaping out at you, through chest bursters bursting out of the walls, all these H.R. Geigerish biohorror walls. It builds real-life, full-sized animatronic xenomorphs. Finale is there's a meltdown happening, and you face off against the Queen Alien.
Time.
All right.
Okay, Mickey Fan, whenever you're ready.
All right, so let's go buzz with this and make a Colonial Marines shooter attraction. Let's do the Dark Mirror buzz. And just this the aliens to D. Hindley's Alien attraction, basically. Really fun, scary. Your goal is shoot as many aliens as you can, don't die, and have some fun with it. Do some really cool creature design, have new designs for the xenomorph, because they do look different depending on what they hatch out from, if I remember correctly. And just do something really cool and kind of obvious, but really fun, and something that would be, ever the crowd pleaser, because everyone likes to shoot aliens. Time.
All right.
The ever-flowing river.
All right. I get that reference, Monkey. D. Hindley, you there? Did we lose him?
Yeah, okay. I was waiting for you to give the go-ahead.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Well, I feel as a property, Alien it's a very adult property. It's all about the terror, the suspense of where the alien is, and I fear a shooter dark ride completely eliminates that. It puts you in control over the alien. Even in an Aliens sequel context, still a life or death struggle. It's not about the fun of aiming at a static figure and pulling the trigger. So I feel it makes it a little too family friendly for what this particular franchise really wants.
Time,
sorry.
Okay. All right. Mickey Fan, whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but you're in a theme park. You kind of have to soften it up to make it family friendly, even if the IP isn't exactly the most family friendly of IPs. As terrifying as Alien Encounter was, it was still for the most part family friendly. And this is kind of in that spirit of, having something fun that's also scary. So I see no problem in making this a shooter attraction because, why no?
Time. All right. Dragon.
D. Henley.
Monkey.
D. Hindley.
Yeah, pretty straightforward here. I'm sorry, Mickey Finn. You got really flubbed up on that on that rebuttal there, man. I heard about 50 you-knows in that thing.
Alien shooter, not a terrible idea, but I don't know. I guess the EMV seemed more thrilling and more sanitary.
Honestly, the way that D. Hindley described like the big build-up to the actual aliens themselves was like I was captivated by that. That was like maybe the first legitimately great pitch that we've seen on this show so far, honestly. I really like that pitch.
And also the Men in Black alien attack ride exists.
That's true. That's true. All right, guys. Is the image still showing up okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let me know if we start having problems with that again.
All right.
So it's 2-2. I'm gonna go ahead and say let's play to 4 points. Let's not play to 5, let's play to 4.
Yeah.
All right, so come on, Stuber. Oh, maybe.
Yes.
All right. This is what I want. Evening.
That's not
so
what Walt would have wanted.
All right. I'll just go ahead and do this one in a Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run sense. The whole premise of the film is that you're an Uber driver driving Dave Bautista around, chasing against drug criminals. It's pretty generic. So you're in the car, you're controlling it. Someone else is playing Bautista's role of shooting the gun out at the screen. So you have the wraparound dome projection screen that you completely control where your car is going. As you have like a Grand Theft Auto kind of race through the docks, through the warehouse district, shooting at all the bad guys, and just also trying to keep track of your Uber favorability score the entire time. Stick with you in the park for the rest of the day, like they intended to do with Millennium Falcon.
God.
So very rewritable. You're always wanting to get that better score. And you also have to pick up side rides along the way because it's an Uber share. So you might have to escort a couple of hot Latina chicks or the guy with his sick dog or whatever. Time.
Okay.
Figure we have Blur.
Yeah.
We have Blur. Okay.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Hondo as an Uber driver.
I don't know why it keeps blurring up.
I think I know why, but we can't do anything about it right now.
Yes.
Really?
I've given you a ride before.
Is it just because we have so many people on Dragon?
No, it's not it. I think it's
okay.
Anyway, let's just keep going.
All right. Okay. So you guys can see it now, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So let's see. So Mickey Fan, make your pitch.
Does it have to be a ride?
No, it could be it could be like an attraction.
Deep.
As long as it qualifies as attraction.
All right. The streetmosphere count?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, so let's have, Kumail Nanjiani and Dave Bautista's characters as streetmosphere in the park. Doing, they ride in on the Uber, and it's something like the Citizens of Hollywood or the Main Street Citizens, where you just end up in this totally insane moment in time of an Uber driver and a quote unquote secret agent getting into hijinks throughout the park and doing stuff that is totally insane and that you would just never expect to happen, and have these running gags, have these random moments, and time.
Okay. All right, D. Hindley, 45 seconds whenever you're ready.
Okay, I think the challenge in doing the streetmosphere is, unless you have Kumail and Dave themselves doing this, nobody else is going to be able to match their wit and comic timing. So it's just going to fall flat. You won't get that deep immersive Uber experience that I've proposed, which is what people are coming for. This is why you go to a theme park, is so that you can pretend that you're driving your own car for somebody else's benefit. Just like Autopia in that way. And I just feel that, it's just not the same. Time.
Okay. All right, Mickey Fan, whenever you're ready.
Uber Driver Simulator 2020. The best e-ticket at Walt Disney World. Mine is creative. It always provides something new. It comes out of nowhere, which seems perfect for this IP in particular. And we match the wit of Kumail Nanjiani and Dave Bautista, especially Dave Bautista. I know people who are far more witty than him and have far better comic timing. Kumail Nanjiani, that's a different story, but time.
Okay. Dragon.
D. Hindley.
All right. Let's see. Monkey.
Now don't get me wrong, I thought Mickey Fans was wonderful and I'd love to see that, but the Smuggler's Run system for an Uber just works so well. I'm gonna go with that one. Deanly.
Yeah, my one thing with Mickey Fans is that I almost feel like Mickey Fans is maybe even more unrealistic than D. Hindley's is, just because it's like you've got like all these shenanigans going on, and like how is that going to mess with crowd control? And are you going to have like actual stuntmen? And D. Hindley made a really good point about the Bautista and Kumail
Nanjiani.
First of all, it's not like Stuber's like a comedic masterpiece, but still.
Far from it, in fact. I was very let down by Stuber.
I know you were. So yeah, D. Hindley gets the point. He has 3 points. He only needs one more to win. As we defer back to the Wheel of Fox.
Oh wow. Hey, what happened to Home Alone?
Oh. Wait, yeah, you're right. I forgot about. I don't know. Hold on. Let me add Home Alone on there. Hold on. All right, forget about Ice Age. I don't know what happened to Home Alone.
I was hoping for Ice Age 2, so
I didn't see Ice Age.
I'm sorry.
2.
There goes my.
Ice Age. They got rid of the Kingdom of the Dinosaurs riot at Knott's years ago. So.
Oh well, what do you know, Dragon?
All right. What do you know?
What are the odds?
Macaulay Culkin.
All right, Image still coming in okay, guys?
Well, let's see if it. Yeah. Well, let's give it a minute. I might. Let's just keep it going.
Okay. All right, Doug. Who goes first on this one?
I'll go first. All right, not feeling this one as much, but I'm gonna go with a log flume. Set it up as the plot of the first one, as best as I can recall, is you're chauffeuring a baby back to his tribe. So you have a little static baby figure in the front of the canoe, riding through the glacial landscape past ice formations and so forth. Amazing animatronic figures of mastodons, those dodo birds. Just basically cram in as many set pieces from all the different films as you can, with a big glacier collapse serving as the final drop, which happens to transport you safely to the what was it? The land of the dinosaurs? I don't know, man.
I'm dying to make a Little Mermaid reference.
Go ahead.
That was it.
Right.
That was
it. Is that time?
Time, yeah.
All right. All right, Mickey fan.
How was that your Little Mermaid? Sorry, let's just keep going.
Because in the animated show, there's an episode where the Little Mermaid finds dinosaurs, and he's been obsessed with that for like months now.
Tarzan probably did it better with their dinosaur episode.
I'm sure they probably did.
Right.
Makes a lot more sense with Tarzan.
But that's why it's not as amazing as the Little Mermaid one, I'm sure.
All right, Mickey fan.
All right, so let's tell an original story. These are like really cool characters when you dig into them. They're surprisingly good characters. So let's use them and do this really fun family attraction with some thrill elements in there. You know, traveling through the world and doing these, through all these set pieces, some from the movies, some totally original to the ride. Maybe see some creatures that haven't been represented in the movies yet, and just have fun with this cool world and exploring it to make a ride that, honestly, even if the IP isn't all that great, is totally prime material to be done in as a family e-ticket, where you can just dive deep into this world and explore it. And time.
All right. Okay, D. Hindley, 45 seconds whenever you're ready.
Okay. Well, Mickey fan, I don't think you mentioned what kind of a ride yours would be. You described the tone and the content, but what's the ride vehicle? I think without that, it's not a complete idea yet. Time.
Oh, wow, taking a risk there. All right.
Yeah, cocky SOB, isn't he?
Right. Okay, Mickey fan.
Hang on, I need a second.
He's formulating.
He's trying to figure out what the ride vehicle is.
All right. You want me to go deeper into what this ride entirely entails in the 45 seconds I have? Fine. So we're gonna be a boat ride, long flume. No, we're gonna get into this really ancient Neanderthal-ish canoe. I don't even know if Neanderthals use canoes, but whatever. And we're gonna travel with these characters whose name I cannot remember except for Sid, because Sid is an icon. And I'm running out of time.
Time. Yeah. All right. Dragon.
Well, that was just sad on all fronts. I mean, just by process of elimination, the fact that Mickey Fan, to put it nicely, he was struggling. I'm gonna give it to D. Henley.
Monkey.
I think I'm gonna give it to Mickey Fan because his was less book reporty and a bit more original.
I'm gonna do the same thing. Actually, they're like with D. Hindley, I could clearly see him struggling with the IP. I feel like Mickey Fan had, even though his rebuttal wasn't great, I feel like the pitch itself was a little more detailed, and I really like the idea. And I really like the idea of having different creatures. So, like different creatures that weren't represented in the movies. So there's a little bit more to chew on there. So I'll give it to Mickey Fan.
So just throwing this out there, this reminded me, I guess there used to be some Ice Age boat ride in Germany.
Oh God. And I'm sure there's probably been one of those weird, similar to the Rio thing, like an Ice Age, hey, we're going to take clips from the movie and make it a 3D show.
They did that with the No Time for Nothing.
Why am I not surprised?
I told you about that 3 years ago.
All right, Monkey, get out.
Okay.
No, seriously, I'm sorry. I just, we have Ezra and Jacob kind of waiting in the wings. We need to do one more round of this before we get to Ezra and Jacob, but there's only room for 6 people. And D. Hindley and Mickey Fan are obviously need to stay on. So, Monkey, I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. I literally have to kick you out right now. Wait, did he just leave without an explanation?
I don't know. I can't see it. We have the clock up right now.
Oh God, I'm sorry, Monkey. I didn't mean to be rude. Oh God.
All right, he's gone. He killed your friend. Let's move on.
Okay. Wow. I was gonna offer an explanation for that.
No, you hurt his feelings. You crushed his spirit. You have to.
All right. Well, Monkey, if you're watching this, Monkey, Ezra and Jacob are waiting in the wings.
No time for apologies. You already made it. He's totally cool. So you know what? You killed him. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. All right, so now we have a tie, and we're going to defer to one last Wheel of Fox here.
Wheel of Fox. Let's just. Okay.
Home Alone. Okay, I was kind of hoping for this one.
Vulcan for the win. All right.
This will be guys who won that last round. Decide.
Go ahead, D. Henley.
Who goes first?
All right. I'm gonna go with an escape room. You're all trapped in Kevin McAllister's latest evil game. He appears on the screen and says that you have this much time to escape the booby traps that he's set up all throughout the house that apparently you're trying to break into it, I guess. So you have to navigate, figure out the clues, get out of the basement, and crawl around through the house, dodging all sorts of horrible traps, nails flying from guns at you. This isn't going to actually hurt people. That would not be humorous, but I don't know. I think it turned into a Saw thing at some point in my head.
Time. You still got 30 seconds if you want to formulate something.
No, I'm done for. I can't think of anything else.
All right, Mickey Fan.
All right. So let's come back to Streetmosphere for a second, and let's do the 2 thieves, and they're trying to break into the shops or any of the facades in the land that they're in, trying to rob whoever lives there or what the store sells or all of that. You have some madcap fun. You have probably some really witty banter. You have some really funny improv. All about trying to get these two thieves, kind of almost want them to win because they're so pathetic. And yeah, that's all I got. Time.
Okay. D. Hidley with the rebuttal whenever you're ready.
Okay. Well, I think you have the same problem as you did before with Stuber with the Streetmosphere thing, is that it, again, will be very difficult to match the unique comic patois of Joe Pesci and what's his name?
Daniel Stern.
On top of that, there's no mention in here of Kevin McAllister, of the kid being home alone. It's about the side characters, what you're proposing, which is sort of not the premise of the franchise at all, I think. Like the thieves are a wonderfully fun thing, but we don't have the traps or the kid outwitting the burglars. It's just burglar comedy routine. I mean, that could be 101 Dalmatians.
Time. All right. Mickey Fan, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, better burglar comedy routine with visually distinct characters that, for the most part, if someone knows it's Home Alone, they're going to realize, oh, those are the thieves from Home Alone. Then saw The Escape Room, starring Macaulay Culkin, and just I don't think it has to totally embody the franchise in order for it to be just a simple, fun addition. Time.
All right. Dragon, I'm thinking Mickey Fan on this one.
Mickey Fan.
With the Escape Room, that's barely even a Disney attraction at all. D. Hindley, I'm sorry.
Basically, here's D. Hindley's undoing was when we made the self-realization that, of course, they wouldn't get hurt. Whereas, well, that kind of defeats the purpose, though. If it's just an escape room without, the physical comedy. He's right that we can't injure the park goer, but still, it's... Yeah.
Yeah, right. I got to the point where I wanted to start hitting park goers with paint cans, and I realized...
My solution to this, if I were to throw something out there, humbly, would be... You have either in screens or the form. Basically, as you're going through the house, you're seeing them off screen. Basically, you're hearing them being taken out by the things you're kind of seeing the setups for. That'd be my pitch. But
okay. So with that in mind, we're going to welcome in Sandy Claus. How you doing, Sandy Claus?
I'm good. Good to be here.
All right, and also the one, the only, the incomparable. It's Jacob Weil. What do you know? Jacob, you there?
One of us might have to leave first.
Oh dear. Device not connected. Oh.
What?
Okay, well, Jacob's... Oh, wait. Jacob? Hello? Jacob, you there?
2, 3.
You there, Jacob?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Mickey Fan, D. Hindley, you guys want to stick around to judge some Disney debate speed rounds?
Sure. Oh, totally.
All right, let's do it. Let's
be on the other end of the table this time.
All right, so I think we're going to play to 4, and if we need to break the tie, we will. Let me just go to my list here.
I'm sorry, Tiki, remind me, who won the previous game?
Mickey Fan won.
Just want to make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
No, for the whole thing. He got the most points.
Yeah, for the whole thing. Yeah.
Want to make sure. Okay.
The wire,
yay, Mickey Fan.
Are you guys going to run out of Fox properties, or
what now?
You're going to run out of Fox properties soon at the rate you're going.
No, I won't. Doug, have you seen how obscure I've pulled? All right.
Okay.
Don't tempt me. All right. Okay, so guys, you all know how this works. We're just going to do a Disney debate speed round here. Just a round of Disney debate speed rounds. We're going to do it's a change of pace here. We've been doing kind of more long form rounds, but remember, Disney debates, it's only a 30-second opening statement and then a 15-second rebuttal. So you got to use your time wisely there.
Yep.
Okay, guys, I'm just going to start it off. Of course, whoever says the thing first goes first. So, and just so you guys know, this is all kind of like vaguely quarantine related questions.
Okay.
So So with that in mind, what is the ultimate desert island Disney movie? What Disney movie would you bring with you on a desert island? Pretty straightforward question, guys.
Yeah, but just got to be careful. If you're on a desert island, you just gotta want to make sure that it's something you can watch over and over again without losing your mind too quickly.
Stuber.
I'm gonna go with. Oh, what? What,
sorry,
Jacob?
what?
I didn't say anything.
No, that was Doug. He was making a joke regarding the last thing we did.
How about Aladdin?
Aladdin? Okay. Yeah. Jacob?
That's a good one. Jungle Book.
Now, just to be clear here, the animated Jungle Book, not the live action remake.
Yes.
Okay, just to be clear.
Yeah, I have the original as well.
Okay. Well, yeah, I figured that much, Ezra.
Yeah. Well, it would have been really surprising if it wasn't, though.
All right, Ezra. Whenever you start talking, the time starts.
I think Aladdin is just the quintessential animated Disney film to bring with me on a desert island, simply because it's insanely rewatchable. I mean, this is one of the most rewatchable Disney films ever made. Robin Williams, the music, just the lovable characters, the great designs, that world would fit in with your desert island atmosphere, make you kind of feel immersed within the movie. I think it's a very good option.
Okay, Jacob, 30 seconds.
I think the Jungle Book would be a very interesting choice because, well, first of all, it's one of the ones that I discovered in my early childhood VHS Disney binge, and it's one of the ones that massively stuck through me, especially of the classic era. It's like it has this lush tropical. It's not necessarily tropical, but the lush jungles of India, the lovable characters. It's just like and basically the overall fun is like it'll take you out of what you are and not be reminded of the desert surrounding you.
Ezra.
That's a good argument, Jacob, but I would have to argue that Robin Williams is much more rewatchable than anything you could find in the Jungle Book. I honestly don't think that the Jungle Book is that.
Time.
What?
Time.
You're done.
It's only 15 seconds, Ezra. You only get 15 seconds.
You cut me off at 10, though.
No, I.
You cut off at like 13 seconds.
Well, it was, Jacob Israel was 13 seconds.
Okay, Ezra, I'll give you an extra
just
5 seconds.
Forget it. It's fine. It's fine.
Are you sure you don't want an extra 5 seconds? I'll
Oh,
give
man,
it to you.
you should give you 5 seconds.
I got Robin in there, so that was my big point.
Okay. All right, Jacob?
They may not reach the comedic wit and speed that Robin Williams does. I think the Jungle Book has many lovable characters like Baloo, King Louie, Bagheera. And honestly, I think it has a lot of characters in the music, the atmosphere, and everything. It's just basically a movie you can watch over and over.
All right. Okay, we're going to go alphabetically here. We're going to start with Dragon. What do you think?
You know what? I think here's the thing. I think Jacob had a really solid kind of closing with the rebuttal, but I think Sandy he had kind of an ironclad kind of opener, and the whole fits into the atmosphere you're surrounding, which again would really feed into the imagination. I vote Sandy Claus.
All right, Doug.
Well, I personally would probably choose Aladdin myself. I think the argument in favor of Jungle Book is a much more solidly put together one about the great collection of characters and how the setting and atmosphere would all contribute.
right, Mickey fan, break the tie.
I have to agree with Doug. He kind of nailed my opinion on it right on the head. That he had a point with the Jungle Book. It has those very lovable characters and every time you watch them, you just want to sit down and watch it again.
Yeah, Jacob didn't make this point, but I think Sandy kind of leaned maybe a little too far into Robin Williams, to be honest with you. And if I were debating against Aladdin, I would actually use Robin Williams as like a counter argument of like, all right, it's just 90s pop culture references. You've got a lifetime of 90s pop culture references.
You say that like a bad thing, by the way.
All right, so
well, plus not to mention my whole like, you're on a desert island. You don't want to be reminded of the desert.
No, but it's like making the desert adventure. Never mind. My
right,
doesn't count here.
So Jacob gets a point.
Yay!
All right, guys, I'm really fond of this question. And you know what? I'm gonna take animal out of this equation because I feel like animal is the obvious answer.
Uh-oh. Oh boy,
it's a Muppet question.
All right, so which Muppet would thrive the most in a zombie apocalypse?
Whoa.
Gonzo.
All right.
Oh, Gonzo.
Great. Jacob?
There's a lot of ones. I need to go with... Man, I think I'll go with Rizzo.
Rizzo. Okay. Gonzo versus Rizzo, the dynamic duo going up against each other.
Yeah, right. Torn apart, thrown up against each other for fighting for Bill Murray's affections. Could be a real
hey guys, the screen share is still working okay? Let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know when it's getting blurry, all right?
Okay. All right, Ezra, 30 seconds.
First of all, Gonzo, he launches himself out of cannons, all right? He bounces on trampolines while bouncing pianos on his head. This guy's going to do anything he can to get away from these zombies, not to mention the fact that he'd probably think the zombies are pretty cool. Rizzo, he's just kind of a wimp, unfortunately. I mean, if you look at Christmas Carol, he has so many horrible things happen to him. He really can't take it all too well. He's just kind of a punching bag, and I don't think he'd be a too good of a example of a good survivor of the zombie apocalypse.
Time. All right. Jacob, whenever you're ready.
Rizzo's size and cowardice has actually come to his advantage. I mean, think about it. He's small. He can hide in fast. He can hide quickly. He can hide in different areas away from these zombies. Gonzo all that kind of stuff would just draw attention to himself, being the kind of exact opposite of the thing you want in a zombie apocalypse. And not to mention that Gonzo and Christmas Carol himself drew just as much harm to himself as he did others. So if you want to save bed, Rizzo would be the way to go.
Solid opening arguments from both sides. All right, Ezra, remember, you only have 15 seconds, so use it wisely.
Remember the scene in Christmas Carol where Rizzo meets a cat and he can't get away, ends up getting chased by the cat? Yeah, he didn't really find a place to hide then, did he? And he was getting chased by a cat, not a zombie. So, I don't think that argument's very valid. Again, Gonzo is a daredevil. This is the kind of situation that he thrives in.
Time. All right. Jacob, whenever you're ready.
Well, cats are arguably smarter than zombies are. They can sniff out a rat. Zombies, well, they're big, hunkering, and slow. They can't. And if you check a lot of things, Gonzo gets himself into as much harm with anything as he does. It's like in a blooper, he impales himself with the grappling hook.
Time. All right. Okay, Dragon.
Sandy.
Right. Doug.
Ezra.
Okay.
All right, Mickey fan.
That matters.
Sorry, I was muted. Let me start this off saying I'm disappointed neither of you chose Miss Piggy.
I'd love to see.
That was honestly one of my options, but mostly But mostly my option would have rolled around next. She was able to kick Jack Black's ass.
I would have picked Big Mean Carl myself.
You were just gonna pick Carl for the pun.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so pretty clearly we have Ezra wins this one.
Yep.
All right, so 1-1. All right, we're gonna go on to a fun one that's very topical. Who would be the worst Disney character to be quarantined with?
Worst quarantine, buddy.
Just
Goofy.
Just Goofy? Okay. Just stuck in a house with this person.
Maleficent.
Oh, God. Maleficent. Okay. Oh, God.
Okay.
She's the mistress of all evil. That's a pretty good pick. All right. Okay, Ezra, 30 seconds.
When I think of being quarantined with a Disney character, I want to go kind of fun and goofy, something a little more Disney. I'm reminded of a class.
Wait, Ezra.
What?
The question is worst, not best.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna build up like Goofy was the best person to be quarantined.
No,
You're throwing off his focus.
I'm getting to it.
You
Tiki.
threw up his groove.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure you didn't misunderstand the question. All right.
Oh no, thank you.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I am reminded of a classic Disney cartoon featuring Donald and Goofy called Crazy with the Heat. And in this cartoon, Goofy basically drives Donald insane in the middle of the desert. He basically blows out the engine of the car. He destroys the map. I think this guy would be pretty terrible to be quarantined with. He basically limit all of your resources down to zilch. You would be dead within hours.
I love this question. All right. Maleficent?
Yes.
Whoa. Which Maleficent?
The animated one, obviously.
I just want to be clear. I just want to clarify just in case. Go on.
All right. These remakes make things confusing.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Go ahead.
These remakes are making things confusing.
All right, Jacob, stop talking until you talk when you
All right.
when you start your argument. All right. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Equipage.
Think about it. You're trapped and quarantined in a dark, forgotten castle with an evil, cranky fairy who can turn into a dragon at will, and who's easily set off by even the most minor infractions. Anything and one wrong move and you're instantly toast by all the powers of hell. So Goofy would just be a minor inconvenience. Maleficent would be death.
All right, Ezra, 15 seconds.
Goofy would make your death slow and painful in a goofy Disney-type manner, all right? Unintentionally. You would be dead within minutes with Maleficent because she'd just burn you alive. With Goofy, his obnoxious antics would drive you up the wall while slowly killing you.
Jacob.
Oh, gosh. Technically, though, Maleficent can do the quick death. She doesn't think about it. She cursed the entire kingdom to sleep for many years, so she's also an expert on the slow, painful deaths. Think about it. She can easily top that or anything Goofy does.
All right, Dragon.
Maleficent.
Doug.
Goofy.
Ooh, Mickey fan, break the tie here.
Goofy.
Oh, okay.
Snap.
Honestly, it's tough, guys. I love this debate. I think I would have to go with Goofy as well, just because I feel like he'd be like the more realistic bad person to be quarantined with.
Goofy would eat all your quarantine snacks.
Powers of hell. Is no one registering this?
But I can imagine being stuck in a house with someone who's like Goofy. I can't imagine being stuck in a house with someone who's like Maleficent. All right.
They didn't I didn't know realism would be part of the equation.
Well, look, I'm just giving my opinion. Doug and Mickey fan already voted, so my vote doesn't matter here. I'm just giving my commentary. So. All right, so that's 2-1 in Ezra's favor. We're playing to 4. Let's see, Dragon. Any of these strike your interest on?
Well, I have one that sure. There's one I really want to see answered, but I don't know how it's going to play with these two jokers. But let's see.
The Black Widow one?
No, not the Black Widow one.
I don't think we should do that one.
I know, that's why I didn't say it, but thank you for bringing it up anyway. So, okay, who is? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to say the full thing, or do you want me to hit?
This was actually the next one I was going to go with as well. So I hope both of you are up to date on this show. Who is the best Recess character? Because, just to preface this, how it ties into Disney, how it ties into the quarantine. Like, we're all watching a bunch of Disney Plus, and what's one of the more popular things to watch on Disney Plus? Well, Recess, of course. Everyone's getting their nostalgia kick on Recess.
And there is a connection with the quarantine. They were quarantined at the end of an episode once.
Oh, there you go. So who is the best Recess character?
I like this question.
All right.
Principal Prickly.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Solid choice.
That is good.
Monkey's gonna die if you don't choose Finster, Jacob.
Don't tip. Oh, now we know.
I mean, that was actually who I was leaning towards anyway.
I'm just saying, Monkey's gonna die if you don't choose Finster.
Is he watching
Finster is not in the equation here.
Well, maybe he might be watching.
Well,
then again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna go with Miss Finster.
Okay. All right, Finster versus Prickly. All right, Ezra, you're up.
Principal Prickly, he's genuinely a nice guy. He's got a firm hand. He knows how to keep things under control. He's just misunderstood. Too much of the time he's seen as this kind of grumpy old principal who no one likes, but he's a nice guy, He's got a sense of style, He obviously he doesn't take into consideration that he should probably retire. Why? Because he loves his students and he loves his job. This guy is a man to respect. Okay.
All right. Solid argument, Jacob.
One thing that Miss Finster has an advantage of in this argument overall is that you don't actually get to see Principal Prickly's home life. Really, you actually get to, in one episode where Spinelli goes over to visit Miss Finster, you actually get to see see her home life, and actually see she's actually quite a reasonable lady outside of school. Yeah, she's pretty bit kind of harsh, but that's because she kind of has to be. And as that episode has Weekend at Finster's proved and School's Out proves, given the right thing, she'll defend those kids to the end.
All right. 15 seconds, Ezra.
Principal Prickly is very understanding. When he's faced with a difficult situation, he can often react in anger, but he also often reacts with a calm, peaceful demeanor, trying to work things out in a way that suits everybody.
All right.
He's fair.
All right, Jacob.
A lot of times in the early episodes, Prickly actually, lives up to his names. It's like that's not really shown until later. It's early. The thing with Miss Finster, it's actually shown quite early how caring and forgiving she can actually be.
All right. Okay, Dragon, where are you leaning?
I gotta tell you, man, this is I was really excited for this, and again, 2 excellent picks. I gotta be honest with you, I think Sandy, tremendous opening. He hit it really well. I'll admit, though, he did open himself up to a lot of stuff, and I think Jacob, he had a shot, but he missed. Man, I think he missed big time. I think Jacob, he went for the swing, but like Sandy's, like he dodged it like a champ. Where
I didn't swing into the beyond.
Well, what I was going to say, Jacob, is you threw away your shot. Hamilton would be so disappointed.
I just referenced a famous Recess episode.
All right.
Yeah. Basically, it was that he basically all Jacob said, and I don't know if he got tripped up over or what. Maybe he kind of tripped into the stool. If I'm using a boxing reference there, the point being, he just he said, he prickly was, a little bit more living up to his namesake in the beginning of things, but he really could have deconstructed Sandy's entire argument by making the point that he basically. Sandy's absolutely right about Principal Prickly, but again, there's definitely layers of conjecture there where, Prickly is very self-invested in a lot of recess, but again, he does have those layers to him. Like, Sandy didn't mention school's out at all. He just kind of mentioned stuff we kind of generally cover in that. Like, he didn't mention the Senor Fusion thing, but overall, I think Sandy made some good points, and Jacob just didn't hit him hard enough back. But again, to Jacob's point, though, aside the Miss Finster, Spinelli episode, the whole weekend at Fencers, was a really good pull on his part. And a little bit of the recess schools out, but again, he got a little tripped up towards the end on it. So point goes to Sandy, in my opinion.
All right. Doug, how you feeling?
Principal Prickly.
Okay. Mickey fan, you feeling the same way?
I'm feeling Finster.
You're feeling Finster. Oh no. Well, I can't. I'm honestly like, yeah, I'm feeling Prickly as well. But Jacob, honestly, I feel like if you would have used that weekend, oh God, I'm sorry. What is Finster's first name? Now I'm blanking on
Muriel
it.
Finster.
Thank you. The weekend at Muriel's episode. If you would have used that, like, I feel like you kind of you lean too heavily into that episode with your argument. If you would have used that as a spice without making it the main ingredient, I think it would have been.
I didn't really use it that much.
Hey, Tiki, use it like a spice in shavings.
I mean, Jacob, to be fair, it was kind of like half of your opening pitch was that episode, so you did devote a good amount of time to it. So, all right, guys. Ezra has 3 points. Jacob has 1 point. So Jacob's on the rope. Ezra only needs 1 point to win. Now, guys, we've all been playing a lot of video games. Video games are a great escape. Of course, Jacob and I are playing a lot of Animal Crossing New Horizons. So with that in mind, what standalone Disney attraction would make the best video game?
Splash Mountain.
Splash. Ooh, interesting choice. All right, Jacob.
Which attraction would make the best game?
Yes.
Do ones that are kind of already games count?
You know what? Just for your own sake, I would probably lean away from those for creativity point of view.
All right, that's what I thought.
Like no Midway Mania.
Oh God! Well, Midway Mania literally already is a game. So.
That's what I just said. Yes.
No, I mean I'm saying it's like you can play it on Wii. Like it's actually a game.
I know, which is my point. It's actually a game.
Just so we're clear on this.
Yes.
And I wouldn't advise picking Astro Blasters either, just because it's an obvious answer. I mean, you can if you want, but.
I mean, that's more thinking like Rise of the Resistance, but I'm going to stay away from that.
All right.
Not Resistance, but Smuggler's Run.
Oh, yeah, Smuggler's Run I'd also probably stay away from. Because that is basically a video game already.
Okay, dude.
Well, there's one I'm thinking of, but I don't think he's going to use it.
There's a couple really obvious ones I'm surprised he's not going for.
I mean, there's a couple obvious ones, but I'm weighing my options.
Okay.
Sure.
While trying to be as quick as possible.
It's a hefty weight. Take your time.
Space Mountain.
Oh, wow. I got to admit, I'm very surprised that neither of you chose either Pirates or Haunted Mansion.
Here's the thing. I was going to suggest, I would have suggested Haunted.
Based on the movies, those already been turned into games.
Yeah, but still, they're based on the movies, not the attraction themselves. Although
they're based on a movie, based on a game, based on an attraction.
Although I would wager that the Haunted Mansion game actually is pretty based on the ride, because you play as the caretaker and not as Eddie Murphy, but I digress.
You know what's funny about the Haunted Mansion? In the Toy Story 3 game, it has like these really fun, like kind of like wide-spanning environments. You can go into like this haunted house, and inside the haunted house, it gives you kind of a little bit of a Haunted Mansion experience, and it plays Green, Grin, and Ghost all throughout inside the place. It's quite fun.
I mean, the obvious answer would basically just like have a Disney version of Luigi's Mansion for Haunted Mansion. I mean, same basic gameplay mechanics and everything, I would say.
All right.
All right. Anyways, okay. So we have Ezra who has Splash Mountain, and then Jacob who has Space Mountain. These are two really interesting choices, I must say. All right, Ezra, what do you got? He's taking his time here, folks.
Climb every mountain.
Sorry, guys. I was saying my argument, my opening statement, but my mic is muted.
Oh no!
You gotta stop doing that, man. It's the third time.
All right.
All right. Splash Mountain would make a great ride. I'll tell you why. A really cool water-based video game, which you really don't see all too often. You have your log flume ride vehicle is what you're riding through the video game. You're trying to escape Brer Fox, Brer Bear. The vultures can kind of be used as the chain chomp type Mario Kart things where you want to try and avoid pop up here and there. Big alligators are things like the big ramp that give you extra speed. I think this would be really, really cool. I think they should exploit this idea.
All right, Jacob.
The concept like Space Mountain, you have the possibility to create something very interesting. Sure, a variation upon a classic space shooter theme. Basically, you would be flying around, shooting the. Sorry, I had something in my throat. Basically, thrilling missions in outer space.
I'll give you an extra 5 seconds if you need it.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Sandy, 50-second rebuttal.
Shoot us! I did it again. I turned my mic off.
Swear to God,
are you serious?
I'm gonna kill him.
Oh God! Come on, Sandy.
All right, here we go.
Oh God. Go ahead.
You often see a lot of space-oriented video games. You don't see many Splash Mountain-based video games. In fact, you don't see any Splash Mountain-based video games. What I'm pitching this, it's very colorful, very Disney. You didn't offer a whole lot of meat in your argument, Jacob. I just don't think it would hold up very well. It wouldn't be as
time.
Okay.
There's a reason they don't see a lot of. Sorry. There's a reason they don't see a lot of log-based plume games because they just wouldn't be very fun. At least space is a tried and true genre that works. Basically, what you're saying is it's like Slip and Slide, the video game.
All right.
That's bull crap. I'm sorry. Slip and Slide.
Hey, Ezra, this is a debate, all right?
Okay,
so what's called the World According to Jeff Goldblum and Glorified Ellen DeGeneres travelogue.
Yeah, that's a low blow, man.
It was in the heat of the debate.
All right.
And then dragging the gold balloon for the dirt like that, man, that's dirty pool.
So I'm just gonna throw this out there. Does anyone have any reason why Jacob should win this point? Because I'm pretty strongly leaning towards Sandy.
Yeah. I do.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're voting for Jacob then? You're voting for generic space shooter? All right.
Yeah.
All right. D&D.
I had a reason, but by all means.
Well, what's your reason? What's your reason? Because I'm curious.
Well, my reason is, again, he was a little brutal towards the end there, but again, we do ugly things down here in the real world, folks. No. The fact is, Jacob, he made an excellent point that there's a lot of real estate with Space Mountain. Again, it's kind of some unexplored territory there, kind of missions in space shooters, sure, but also he made the point against Splash Mountain that again, it's just basically it's the ride, but from home, and might come across as like, okay, it's just you're in the boat and you're going forward. Not a lot there. That's kind of what he's implying with the whole slip and slide thing to me. So I give him the point on that one. That's just me.
All right, Doug.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Splash Mountain here.
All right,
For,
Nicky fan. Sorry, go ahead.
It's just a lot more unique sounding. And I mean, if it works, that would be amazing. So yeah, that one.
All right, Mickey fan.
I have to go with Splash Mountain because what it sounds like to me is a water-based kart racer.
Yes.
I am fucking here for that.
Mickey fan and I are kind of speaking the same language here. One of my favorite kart racers of all time is Diddy Kong Racing, and anything that kind of even vaguely resembles that, I'm totally down for. I think they should do an HD remaster of Diddy Kong Racing at some point. But yeah. So with that, Ezra wins the debate. Congratulations, Ezra. You won pretty solidly, pretty handily. Jacob, I don't know. I'm sorry. No offense, Jacob, but really, I didn't get anything out of yours other than just like, oh, it's kind of like a generic space shooter game.
Well, his is just a generic kart racer, but on a freaking boat.
I don't think this is a generic.
Come on,
I don't think a kart racer.
I give examples of what the characters would do in the game.
Yeah, I don't think a kart racer with like slip and slide mechanics and log flume vehicles is very generic, Jacob. I'm sorry.
Kind of is.
I'm just saying. It's a very creative take on the kart racing genre for me personally. All right. Dragon, I'm just gonna throw it to you.
Diddy Kong Racing is overrated.
All right. Well, now you're just talking heresy, man. All right, now you're just trying to piss me off. Dragon, are there any other questions you'd like to get to?
Okay, let me take a look, see what's really popping out at me here. Just want to make sure. Okay, well, there's one I'm interested in. I mean, you want to use it, or?
If you guys feel like doing one other round, I mean, Sandy already won, but if you guys feel like killing a little bit more time here.
Okay.
All right, yeah, Dragon,
sure.
Why don't you announce what it is then?
Right. You had to watch a Pixar short on a loop. Which one would it be?
Oh, boy.
I'm saying like how rappers have Scarface on a loop. At least how they used to back in the day. I'm talking about these things on a loop 24/7, man.
Gary's Game.
Jerry's Game. Okay.
Jerry's Game.
La Luna.
La Luna. Two solid choices. All right, Ezra, whenever you're ready.
Gary's Game, you're basically watching this old guy play with chess with himself nonstop, like for eternity, just playing chess with himself out in this park. I think it's really funny. It's a really enjoyable cartoon. It's one of Pixar's earliest, most classic pieces they've ever done. I just think that'd be really great. Watching this piece of Pixar art nonstop for forever just sounds nice. Gary's a nice guy.
Ezra, it's Jerry.
Yes, it is very deliberately Jerry.
It's Jerry?
Yes, it's Jerry. It's Jerry
right?
with a G.
Gary's a nice guy too, though.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there.
Okay.
I'm not going to count it against your argument. Just throwing it out there.
Okay.
All
right. Jacob.
Well, Luna is definitely unique in terms of Pixar shorts. It's like unique in terms of style, visual storytelling, and basically the kinds of story it tells. It's the story of these three men, a man, a son, and his father, and the grandfather, basically scrubbing the light off the moon. It's a unique story, beautifully told, beautifully animated with beautiful music. Basically something that you can just watch on repeat.
All right, Ezra.
Personally, I want to watch something that's going to keep me laughing and entertained over something that's going to be pulling in my heartstrings all the time. That's all I've got to say.
Okay. Oh, Jacob, 15 seconds.
The thing is with Jerry's Game, like if you watch it on repetition 24/7, I think that the laughs would kind of wear thin more after a while. Whereas like something like La Luna, So the laughs are minimal, but everything that you see in there's like all kinds of visual cues and everything that should keep you entertained for hours.
All right, Dragon, where are you leaning?
This is a tough one. Both are really even on this one. So I really like what Jacob said about the whole, we the 3 generations, Low on the Moon, and basically I could watch that on loop. I don't know if we quite dug deep enough as to like how if you're gonna watch it on loop, it'd be kind of the day night cycle of it all, like 24/7, which would be kind of neat. But in Sandy's case, Sandy again made a really, it's an early Pixar classic. Kind of keeps you laughing, pulls on the heartstrings. I didn't quite see the heartstrings personally, but I mean, it's quite fun and just it's more affable than it's like, I'm so moved by this. La Luna has a little bit. Oh, I'm so moved by this. The father, the son, the grandfather. It's beautiful. But boy, you know what? I'm gonna lean towards Jacob on that. I'm gonna go with Jacob.
Okay, Doug.
La Luna.
All right, Jacob. That means you win the point that doesn't count. Congratulations.
Okay.
Mickey fan, where were you leaning?
I was leaning towards La Luna.
It was a clean sweep.
Oh wow!
See, in an alternate universe, if that were the last question, Jacob might still be in the game, but now not so much.
I actually would have voted for Sandy on this one just because I feel like Sandy actually got into the psychology of having to watch it over and over a bit more. And he did make the pitch about, it's just a guy playing chess with himself. Yeah. There's no big plot to it. There's no big symbolism. It's just a nice, pleasant thing you can have on in the background.
It was an even bout. They were both really good.
Yeah. I remember watching Jerry's game. I remember watching that for the first time. What was that? What DVD was that on?
Bugs Life.
Bugs Life. Yeah. I remember watching it for the first time back in the day, way back, and just being completely fascinated by this guy playing chess with himself. I'm serious. I was a little kid, just totally fascinated with this.
Could have gone with Luxo Jr. too.
Yeah, I was fascinated with all the early Pixar shorts. They're just special.
All right, guys. Well, with that in mind, you have survived our little social distancing experiment here. A little social distancing together. Thank you guys all for coming on. Big thanks down the line to Jacob, Gulliver, Monkey, D. Hindley, Mickey Fan, Ezra, Jacob, and of course the man who pulled it all together, Blue Dragon 5. All right, any final thoughts from any of you gentlemen regarding this fine event tonight?
You look good in orange.
Oh, thank you. I really like this shirt. I feel like it's a nice California strong shirt.
Yeah.
All right. Well, D. Hindley and Mickey Fan, I definitely want to get together and do another Disney movie, The Ride, maybe one a week if that's possible.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I got nothing better to do.
You might convince me.
I think Mickey Fan's having some audio issues there.
Yeah,
Dragon.
let's take a week off.
All right. One of Mickey Fan or Doug doesn't have headphones in, and I can hear the echo. So
I think it's Doug.
Okay. Yeah, Doug, you don't. I can hear the echo on your end. Anyways. All right. So, Dragon, any last words on your end?
Not particularly. And we all got together. We all talked about some stuff. We had a riveting little kind of Doctor Strange little kind of powwow with Jacob Gulliver at the start of things. It was quite fun. We which then escalated into kind of this, into kind of talking about some of the worst of Fox's iteration of Marvel. And then just kind of
pretty much everything that isn't X-Men.
Yeah. And it's pretty much it. So we kind of made the most out of being stuck at home, and that counts for something.
All right. Well, guys, if you don't mind, let me get something out here, because now that we're done with this whole thingamajig, I'm gonna play some Animal Crossing. Yeah.
Yay.
You totally can't see it, but it's there. It's Animal Crossing, and I'm gonna play it like right now as soon as we sign out. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll get through this together. God bless.
Wash your damn hands.
Watch your damn hands.
Cough in the arm.
Watch your fucking hands, Walter.